Well, well, well. All right, so now I know what's going on with the software today. So I am running a new function where you can either get this horizontal or you can get this vertical depending upon what device you are watching this on. So if you are watching this on your phone, it may actually show up vertical. So you let me know if that's what you're seeing. And I'm not sure if you can choose which way you watch it, but nevertheless, there is going to be a vertical version and there's going to be a horizontal version, I guess, again, depending upon what device you're looking at it on. But again, tonight, we are going to be listening to the Brian Schottenheimer press conference. Again, I have not listened to it, so we're going to listen to it tonight, and this will be my first reaction to it. And it sounds like Brian Schottenheimer again talking about Dak Prescott, talking about George Pickens, talking about all things Dallas Cowboys. But nevertheless, welcome to Cowboys After Dark. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. All right, let's try this one more time. Again, there are two streams running at the same time. You either got a horizontal stream, or if you're looking at it on a phone, you might be looking at it on a vertical screen. So either way, you are going to get it. And this is just something new that I'm trying out on the software. Y'all let me know how you like it. Welcome, 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 Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time I post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great content coming up on this channel this season. Hype this up. Now let's talk facts. All right. So this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. We are going to be talking about the Brian Schottenheimer press conference. I haven't listened to it, so this will be the first time that we're going to listen to it together. Then we are going to look at some player interviews, Klayton Adams, Emmitt Smith, Mike Leslie, and a couple other things that I got that I do not have on here. So we're not going to go in order tonight because I think we're going to go ahead and listen to the Brian Schottenheimer press conference first up front. So, got a great show for tonight. Y'all buckle up. Man, it's going to be a great night talking about the Cowboys. All right, let's get this roll call in. It's going to be short. People are kind of, I guess, getting notifications, pick it up. So we'll see how it goes within the next hour. But nevertheless, we are going to talk Cowboys. All right. 72 Chevelle, yes, got it working. Andre Johnson, let's go. Marlon Dillard, yes sir, let's go. Mr. Get Dirty, vertical on his end, let's go. Queen, what's going on? Good to see everything is going good. 72 Chevelle said, I got a phone pick, not vertical. Okay, good. I don't know how it exactly works. Tony Jones, what's going on? DeVaris Worley, what is going on? Richard Valles. Mark Davis, we back. We got action. Rod Mack, what's going on? All good, Prophet, what's going on? All right, Kimberly Hunt, we back. All right, we'll let everybody else come in. We had a few technical difficulties, but we are going to have Cowboys After Dark. Y'all asked for it, you got it. Whether it be 100 or 100,000, we're going to talk Cowboys tonight. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Let's get into this thing, man. All right, let's get into this. So again, I haven't heard the Brian Schottenheimer press conference, and with everything that was going on with the Dallas Cowboys today, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody was just kind of listening. Everybody was just kind of flabbergasted and floored by that George Pickens press conference. I mean, he just did such a fabulous job, killed all the speculation. No matter what anyone says now, George has said what he's going to do. Love it, like it, or hate it, as I always say. Love it, like it, or hate it. George has made his decision, and I'm riding with whatever decision that George Pickens has made, as well as riding with whatever decision the Cowboys have made. And so George Pickens, to me, today, he really made this clear that he's going with the decision that the Cowboys have made. And so if he's got to play on the tag, It looks like he's got a play on the tag. So, yeah, I saw him today, 72 Chevelle. He was out there practicing, running, catching balls from Dak. So everything looked good. Everything looked good. So I like I like everything that George Pickens is doing and everything that George Pickens stand for. So today, let's roll over here. We're going to go ahead and roll over here to DallasCowboys.com and pull up this Brian Schottenheimer interview, man, and we are going to get into this. Let me see here. I think I actually had the links over here. Hold on a second. But yeah, I'm just really, really, really happy with the way that he really did carried himself in this interview, man, because they were They were trying their best to get a reaction out of him. They were asking him all kinds of crazy questions. And George, man, it was like he was in a heavyweight boxing match, man. He was ducking and weaving. He was doing the Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope. Boy, he was doing everything. And he was hanging in there, man, and he did a great job. So here we go. Now we're going to hear Brian Schottenheimer, and I am sure Brian Schottenheimer was absolutely elated that George Pickens not only showed up, but he showed out, and he carried himself like a true man. And man, like I said, I wish I knew him personally. If I knew if I knew George Pickens personally, I would call him on the phone and just tell him, man, I'm just proud of how you carried yourself today and how you're carrying yourself, and you're going to win in the end. George Pickens is going to win in the end, whether it be from the Cowboys or someone else. But I truly believe it's going to be from the Dallas Cowboys. I believe George Pickens will get that long-term deal from the Dallas Cowboys. All right. This is Brian Schottenheimer. What is going on, Eduardo? Welcome to Cowboys After Dark tonight. All right, let's roll it.
Calvin, let it rip.
Let her rip. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Is the plan for George to still be brought along slowly?
Yeah, really great visits with George. Fired up to have him back. He's fired up to be here. He'll do all the mock, he'll do all the individual, and we'll just keep him out of team. Just let him watch, and he'll be Coach Pickens today during the team period.
Last week you said you had hoped and expected him to be here, but now that he's here, was there any doubt in your mind that he was actually going to come?
No. I know how he feels about this football team, this locker room, what we're building here, and so I'm not surprised to see him. And I'm, thrilled he's here.
Clarence Hill, DLS Cowboys, what does it mean for him to be here? From on the field standpoint, off the field standpoint, locker room standpoint?
Yeah, well, I think number one, say it again, I think what he feels about his brothers in the locker room, the guys, how much he cares about Dak and CD and Quinnen and Kenny Clark and guys like that. I think that's the first part. As you guys know, the OTAs and off-season program is voluntary, and this is the one part of it that's mandatory. And he's not the only player that hasn't been at camps around the league, but I think it just shows his commitment to the guys in that locker room and helping us win a Super Bowl.
What does it seem like him coming?
Yeah, I think this was very good on George Pickens' part. And George Pickens talked about this today in his own press conference, talking about his love for the team. I just think he's sincere in what he's saying. I can't do anything but take him at his word. But George Pickens, very, as disappointed as I know that he is. Because I was saying this today to the young lady on X named Legally Locked in the comment that I read that she wrote. Because I don't think George Pickens is as mad as he is disappointed. Some people wanted George Pickens to be mad. I don't think George Pickens is mad because George Pickens understands the me and the mess. But I do think he's disappointed because he did expect, I believe, for that what he did last year with the Cowboys, not just on the field, but just his entire aura last year, that he expected to probably get that extension, that was probably going to be in the talk, in the conversation. It wasn't. So I think he's more disappointed than anything. But in the grand scheme of things, I think he has a true love for this team, And I think this team has a true love for him. And so I'm happy that this is working out. And that's why I keep saying, man, we are now 29 days. It is now June the 16th. We are 29 days away from what I guess we can call D-Day, whether or not he gets that extension from the Cowboys. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am not going to be surprised if he gets it. I'm just not going to be surprised if he gets it. I'm not. And if I was George, I would be, I'm going to let you hear something I pulled up from Brian Broaddus. Because I said this today when we were listening to George Pickens, that it seems like George Pickens is telling, he's actually telling his agent what to do. I posted this on X, that this is what it looks like when a player is letting his agent know that he's in charge. But Pickens alluded to that he's just doing what his agent said. But I just kind of listened to him in that press conference, and it doesn't sound like he's doing what David Mulugeta is saying. It sounds like he's doing what he wants to do. And I got something from Brian Broaddus today. I mean, not personally. I mean, don't let me make it sound like that me and Brian Broaddus are buddies. But Brian Broaddus reported something exclusive about George Pickens, and I'm gonna play it tonight. And I think it's gonna be very eye-opening for us as it applies to George Pickens. Let me answer a question real quick in the chat. Man, this is comedy right here. Navarre's Worley said, G, question, do you think the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. There's no way that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl this year. You don't lose A.J. Brown. See, even if you didn't throw to A.J. Brown, you still had the threat of A.J. Brown. You're not going to lose A.J. Brown and think that offense. And I'm telling you, I really think we're watching a Saquon Barkley who is on the decline. I would dare say that we are watching Saquon Barkley hit the wall. Adrian Peterson. Look at them the following season. It takes a lot out of them. No, Philadelphia Eagles are not going to the Super Bowl. Now, I did see today, though, DeVaris Worley. Let me tell you something. Man, I saw today where they are saying that the Philadelphia Eagles are doing everything they can do to bring in Max Crosby. Now, I don't think they're going, but I'm not going to tell you they're not going to try and go. I'm not going to tell you they're not going to try and go, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I also think there's an issue with Jalen Hurts. I just think there's an issue with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, I'm not going to say he's on a decline, but I'm going to tell you that he's not evolving either the way that you would want him to. All right, let's keep going. I'll read some more comments in a moment.
Yesterday, and just you guys greeting him and the player greeting. What was that like?
Just happy, It's like not seeing a brother for a couple months, and again, a lot of these guys they hang out outside of the building, and they game together, and they go different places together, and they travel together. So it was very normal. It wasn't anything unusual, and it's a storyline, and I understand it's a storyline, but at the same time, it's part of the National Football League, and when you deal with pro sports, it's part of what we deal with.
Brian Schottenheimer with ESPN. What were your conversations with him? Was it more about ball or just like, hey, what have you been doing?
More about life, just, what he's been up to and some of the things, he's obviously getting settled here in his house and things like that, which is awesome. And some of the trips he's taken, some of his, activities that he's taken. He's gotten into golf, which is cool. I love to play golf, so might have to go take his money on the golf course a little bit. But no, we just chopped it up about life, and again, great to catch up. And he's in a really good spot, which again, his smile is infectious, and when he's around, it's great for us. I say it all the time, the influence that he has, I don't even think he has the understanding of how powerful it is, because he loves playing the game so much, and he loves playing the game specifically here with his teammates.
This is the one thing that I truly believe about George Pickens. I mean, I didn't know a lot about him in Pittsburgh, but from everything that I've seen here, he seems to love the game, man. He's a demon on the field. I mean, this dude is an absolute demon. He's a demon on the field. He's a demon on the field. Absolutely. Absolutely love him. I mean, he's this type of guy to me, you just want to have him on your team. He's a demon. He's great off the field, like they said, all the smiling and the playing and the laughing. But on the field, oh, man, we heard him on Sounds of the Sideline. Absolute demon. And so I believe he does like playing the game. I really do. What's going on, Rolando? Yeah, I believe he does love playing the game. 72 Chevelle, you don't like the Clarence Hill question. Man, Clarence Hill, sometimes he has some of the real good ones, and then sometimes they be like, man, I be struggling. I be struggling with Clarence. But I understand he got to do his job. What's going on, Tyrone Church? Good to see you, man. What's going on? Yeah, I saw the running back. I don't think it's a big deal. I saw the running back. I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, he just may be a camp body, but at the same time, I think they've already filled up all the spots. So in order for him to get on, he'll have to get on. Somebody will have to get off. Rolando Rodriguez, he said, GP can make more money on endorsements. He can speak good English. Cheers. Hey, let me tell you something, Rolando. Man, he signed that contract with the Cowboys. Them endorsement deals are coming. Cha-ching. Yeah, he going to make some serious dollars. Edwin Minifield said George Pickens is a star and he loves playing for the star. Match made in heaven. Yeah, man. George Pickens said some of the same things that I've said about him. I mean, he's getting to prove it on the biggest stage. The biggest stage. The biggest stage. I love it. I love it. And I think he's going to get his opportunity here with the Cowboys. I think he's going to get that deal with the Cowboys. I really do.
When you guys get to Oxnard, obviously you get a little bit of a break after minicamp. Is that something that he'll have to be worked in maybe a little differently than some of the other guys because he's not been in the offseason program?
No. I mean, this is, he and I did talk about that a little bit. I mean, he's going to be ready to go. He understands what's coming. And, again, if we needed him to practice today, he could. He's going to do some things. But just as we close out the mini camp, and the offseason program, there's no need for him to have to do the team stuff. He's going to get plenty of stuff with individual and the mock stuff.
And then one more. Marshawn Kneeland's girlfriend had their baby. I was wondering, how do you keep in touch with with?
Yeah, I like exactly what they're saying about this situation. It's no rush. He's gonna get plenty of reps. When they get to Oxnard, California. There's nothing to there's nothing to really even trip about. No matter what he does. And we still got people out there. They're out there talking about, let's see if he practices over the next few days. He's not going to do anything major. That was the Cowboys' plan all along. They already said that. And we got people trying to make a big issue out of this. No, they already said this is what they were going to do. Dak Prescott even said it. Quentin Scott said, hey, G, I think GP is going to go for, I think he might go for MVP race with Dak. That would be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, Bass, I think we back up and running. But, this stuff with George Pickens, big nothing burger. George Pickens came out and quieted all this stuff, controlled the narrative.
The family and what they're doing, and how do you keep Marshawn's memory alive with the Cowboys?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. We actually showed a picture of Makai today, so congrats to Catalina. I actually saw her a couple weeks ago at Demo's wedding. She was there, and everybody's doing great. So the guys were fired up and excited, and again, we've got different things. We've got a marker down in the players' lounge supporting, and it says "One Love," big bright star, because that was one of Marshawn's sayings, and. When you're part of our family, you're family for life. And so we want to make sure we do a great job of looking out for her and baby Makai.
John Michaud with The Athletic. What would you say is the biggest thing you're trying to get accomplished this week?
Finish the installs, doing the 8-week, off-season program where you do 9 installs and you get a couple review days. I gave up those review days because I thought it was more important, John, to get the rookies on the field at the same time for phase 2 with the vets. So get all the installations through is one. Two is, this will be the last chance for the connection piece and the brotherhood piece that we're working on. There'll be officials here for the next couple days. Ron Tolbert's crew's here. And then we're actually knocking out some league-mandated meetings that we have to do to lessen the blow when we get out to training camp, just because those first couple days, the first day specifically of meetings is really long, and so we're going to knock out a few of those mandatory meetings that we have to have.
Is that the stuff with the officials, or?
No, different things, gambling, things like that, different things that go into play, and so, domestic violence, gambling, things like that, and so I just use it to try to get ahead of it and check a couple of those things off. So when we get out to training camp, you still have a handful of things to do, but move more into football.
One of the biggest stories in sports right now, Brandon Sorsby.
Davion Wallace, man, what is going on tonight, Davion Wallace? He said, just great to hear we're going to TC with everyone good to go. Bass, you at one of them events where the content creator must be making a whole bunch of money. Must be making a whole bunch of money. Mike Hunt said, are the Cowboys going to the World Series or not? I don't know about the World Series, but I think we got a good opportunity if we can get this thing turned around and defensively really good and stay healthy. I think we got a great chance of being in the hunt for the Super Bowl. I really do. Absolutely think we got a great chance.
Yep. Entering the supplemental draft, or at least expected to. Would you guys have any interest in him?
Yeah, honestly, I know it's a big storyline. I haven't followed it much. I'm aware just enough to be dangerous, so I really don't have any honest opinions. If we get to the point where we're interested, then certainly I'll have an opinion, but as of now, it doesn't affect my life, and I'm focused on the 90 guys we got here.
Nick Harris.
Let me tell y'all about this Brandon Sorsby issue. Okay, I'm glad they brought up the Brandon Sorsby issue because I did not get this right the other day. There's more to this. And this is why you have to really listen, get all of the evidence before, people start saying things. Because somebody was saying, I can't remember who it was, he was saying that because of the color of Sorsby's skin, that the NCAA was making concessions so that Sorsby could play. I wish that person was, I can't remember who it was, and they wasn't doing it maliciously, but I wish that person who said that was here tonight, and I may bring this up again tomorrow, because the reason why they're asking about this is because people are questioning whether or not the Cowboys should go after Sorsby. And I've already said it. The Cowboys shouldn't touch Sorsby with a 10-foot pole. And as a matter of fact, the league needs to do the same thing to Sorsby that I can't remember who that guy Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor had some issues before he came into the league, and I think there was a suspension. And when the league let Terrell Pryor into that supplemental draft, whatever suspension he would have got in college, they gave him that same suspension when he came to the pros. So he came in suspended. So let me give you the update on Sorsby. So Sorsby, a judge tried to give him a loophole, and they filed an injunction that he could still play, I guess, while they were trying to litigate whatever was going on with this gambling thing. He's admitted to gambling on multiple games, including games that he played in, if I'm not mistaken. He's bet on the pros. I mean, this guy's got a gambling problem. And anybody who thinks he's fixed that gambling problem this quick, I got a bridge in London to sell you. Well, let me tell you what the Big 12 did. So basically, he got an injunction to play for Texas Tech. So the Big 12 turned around, and now they're suing so that he can't play in the Big 12 since they got around the injunction from the NCAA. So, that's why I say we got to be careful sometimes talking about this race stuff. No, they're fighting Sorsby. They are fighting Sorsby at every turn. So, because they're fighting him so hard, Sorsby said, Uncle, he gave up. He said, I'm just going to go into the supplemental draft. I thought he was like, okay, I've already got the right to play for Texas Tech, so now I'm going to the NFL. No, what happened is the Big 12 turned around and they're fighting him. And he said, well, forget about it. I don't want to go through all of that. If it's that serious, I'll just go to the NFL. And so now there are some teams, I guess they're saying that there may be some teams that are interested in him. But please don't let one of those teams be the Dallas Cowboys. Do not let one of those teams be the Dallas Cowboys. I'm all about redemption. But I don't want to be on the end of a Brandon Sorsby story where this team is focusing on nothing but football, and then you bring in Sorsby, and it's nothing but a circus. It's nothing but a circus. No, let him go somewhere else with that mess. And if he does come into this league, because basically if you draft him in a supplemental draft, you got to understand that whatever, if you get him with a first, a second, third, or fourth, or fifth, well, you lose that in the following year's draft. It would be crazy for the Cowboys with the trajectory that they're on to get Sorsby. And I've actually heard some people out there in the Dallas Cowboys land talking about, oh, if Sorsby becomes available for sure. What? Get out of here. Get out of here. We do not want anything to do. We don't want anything to do with Brandon Sorsby. Absolutely nothing. At least in my opinion, we don't. We don't want anything to do with him. Get out of here, man. We don't want him in here. We don't want him in here. It'll just be a circus. I promise you it'll be a circus. And so Brandon Sorsby looks like he's going to enter that supplemental draft, but I got a strange feeling. If he enters that supplemental draft, whoever gets Brandon Sorsby, I got a strange feeling. He will be, I believe he will be suspended for the entire 2027 season. Because that's what they did to Terrell Pryor. That's kind of the precedent. You won't see him in 2027. And I guess if you get him this year, you won't see him in 2026. And I've even heard, I saw somebody talking about this, he could actually be banned for life. He could be banned for life. Absolutely. He could be banned for life. So, you know, in the NFL, what he did is very serious in the NFL. I mean, they'll just knock you out the box for a whole year for that. They did it to the kid in Atlanta. Yeah, Bass, the supplemental draft is basically what it is. It's a supplemental draft. It's where players who, for whatever reason, they couldn't make the regular draft, for whatever reason, they get entered into that draft, whether it be some kind of illness, whether it be some kind of ineligibility, you know, good or bad. They get entered into that draft. It's exactly what it's called. It's a supplemental draft. It's a draft outside of the draft. And it's not like, quote unquote, the regular draft, from what my understanding is. You also have to be in a certain position in that supplemental draft. If I'm not mistaken, the teams with 6 wins or less, they are the ones that get priority in the supplemental draft. And so even if, let's just say, you're in that supplemental draft, and let's just say 5 teams want you. They go to the team, I guess, kind of like who has the most, who has the worst record or whatever the case may be. They are the ones that would win it. You know, similar to the draft. But everybody can put a bid in on the same, they can put a bid in on the same player. It just all goes to where your position is. So that's kind of like the supplemental draft in a nutshell. But Sorsby looks like he's going to be in that draft. He's declaring for that supplemental draft. Yeah, he's in that supplemental draft. I'm not sure when it takes place. I'll see if I can look it up, and if I don't, I'll get it for us tomorrow. But Brandon Sorsby Jerry Jones has already been asked about this once. And here they are again asking about Brandon Sorsby. I hope the Cowboys don't do this. Don't bring in Sorsby.
Four-star Telegram, kind of a follow-up to that. What does the scouting process look like for a supplemental draft guy? Wherever you were in 19, Jalen Thompson, how did that work for him? Is it something you refer back to for agency for Jalen Thompson? Like, how does it compare?
Well, I can go way back, Nick, if you want to. I mean, I'm going back to Bernie Kosar, 1984. I think I was in like
Bernie Kosar, yeah. Bernie Kosar. And also, I didn't realize, but Jalen Thompson, also. Jalen Thompson, supplemental draft.
8th grade, 7th grade, man. It's just unique. It's different. I honestly don't even know.
Yeah, Davion Wallace, I was also seeing today, though, is that if multiple teams want that same player, and let's just say they're all willing to give up a second-round pick, if they're all willing to give up a second-round pick, then the team with the highest priority, they are the one that gets the player. You know, a lot of people have been talking about Brandon Sorsby, and it's insanity to me when you think about they're talking about, man, I'm just telling you right now. We're going to come back over here, but since they're here, this thing with Brandon Sorsby, it absolutely stinks. And let me tell you how stinky it is. I saw this today and I wish I would have clipped it. But people are talking about, you know, teams that should be interested in Brandon Sorsby. And one of the teams that they're talking about is the Cleveland Browns. Let me just show you how people are so biased or was so biased towards Shedeur Sanders. I want to show you Brandon Sorsby's last season in Cincinnati versus Shedeur Sanders last season in Colorado. Look how crazy this is. Look at this. There are some people out there who absolutely hate Shedeur Sanders for no reason. They hate this. Well, I shouldn't say for no reason. Some people say it's because of his skin color. I don't think it's because of his skin color. I think it's because he's Deion Sanders' son. Because he's got a lot of confidence. He's Deion Sanders' son. He's very popular. I mean, he killed it in card sales, jersey sales, $17 million. Look at these numbers. 353 completions, 477 attempts. Completion percentage, 74%. 4,134 yards. 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 168.2. Rushing yards minus 50. Rushing touchdowns, 4. I'm sorry, but Shedeur Sanders is better than Sorsby. Now, people will tell you he's not. Sanders is better than Sorsby. If you ask me, Sorsby, if you ask me, Sanders is better than everybody that came out in that draft last year, including Jackson Dart. I think he's better than Jackson Dart. I believe Sanders is better than Cam Ward. There are a lot of people say, oh, Cam Ward is better. I don't think he's better than Shedeur Sanders. And if he is, by how much? By how much would Cam Ward be better than Sanders? There is no way. These people, like Brian Daboll, played a part in Shedeur Sanders dropping all the way down to the 5th round. There is no way Shedeur Sanders should have been a 5th round pick quarterback. And meanwhile, everybody's going crazy over Brandon Sorsby. They'll make every excuse of why Shedeur Sanders' numbers are like they are. He's really not as good as they say that he is. And they'll make every excuse that everybody out there should be interested in Brandon Sorsby. He's a 1st round quarterback. Man, no. If he's a first-round quarterback, then what was Shedeur Sanders? Yeah, blackballed. Blackballed.
You can't handle the truth.
Blackballed. Absolutely. Shedeur Sanders is over there in Cleveland. He's doing a bang-up job. And I believe he's going to beat out Deshaun Watson and probably would beat him outright if it wasn't for Deshaun Watson and what he's making. And maybe God will bless Shedeur Sanders to where he can get out of Cleveland. It's a quarterback-killing organization anyway. But I'm just blown away that people would actually be interested in Brandon Sorsby rather than contacting the Cleveland Browns and saying, you only got, you drafted him in the 5th round. We'll give you a 3rd round for Shedeur Sanders. Why are they not doing it? So many teams in this league, any team that's interested in Brandon Sorsby should be calling Cleveland. We saying Cleveland should be interested in Brandon Sorsby. Huh? For what? It's just absolutely insanity. It's absolutely insanity how this league continues to do Shedeur Sanders. It's absolutely criminal. It's criminal. It's criminal. And got the unmitigated gall to bring up Brandon Sorsby at a Dallas Cowboy, bring up Brandon Sorsby at a Brian Schottenheimer press conference. It's just pure trash. I'm not calling Sorsby trash, but it's just trash what they're doing. Stupid. We don't need no part. We don't need no part of Sorsby. We don't want no part of that doggone story. No part of it. I'm telling you right now, I just think there's something else. They're moving this guy way too fast. They're moving him way too fast back into football. You don't get over gambling. You don't get over gambling like that. He's got a problem. And you don't get over gambling issues that fast.
Exactly how it plays out, to be quite blunt with you. But again, at some point we'll get more involved in when that is and how it goes. And, but at the end of the day, my focus right now is having 3 really good days of minicamp and finishing off what I think's been an awesome offseason.
A big topic with the players right now is the grass being used at all these World Cup venues. What's kind of your take on the situation, and do you just kind of leave that to whatever happens?
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I'm a big, actually, World Cup guy. I watch a lot of the games. It's been cool for me. I've been out by the Star watching the watch parties and stuff that people have had, and I think it's really cool. I'm going to the game next Monday, and so again, I think that at the end of the day, FIFA has their rules and the soccer players have their rules, and our rules are a little bit different. And we feel like AT&T gives us a great home field advantage, and the turf is what it is, and we feel like it's one of the best turf surfaces in the league. And so, but I am looking forward to going. I hope Messi plays. It'd be cool to see him, Argentina, but. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. And then, sounds like they had the blinders up, the shades, so it's not as majestic as it is when we're playing our games, So the grass and the shade, I mean, it's not as majestic. They're going to miss the experience.
They're going to miss the sun, huh?
They're going to miss the experience.
I can sneak in a quick one on Ryan Flournoy, just his development going into what he had last year and going into this year.
What I would say, just doing incredible. You guys saw it last year. I think 200-yard games. You saw him really, just do it on a consistent basis. It's not surprising. He'll be the first one on the practice field. He'll be the last one to leave. Anytime Dak wants to throw, he'll be out there, making himself available. I think that's huge. I think that's part of that me to you factor that's so important when you're talking about quarterback receiver timing and discipline and things like that. He earned it the right way. He earned it through special teams, earned it by doing the run blocking, doing the things in the run game, the dirty work, if you will. And now he's one of those guys that just, because he does everything right, Dak doesn't hesitate when he looks at him. He just turns it loose, throws it to a spot, and he's rewarded us with very, very big-time performances.
Tommy Yarsh, DallasCowboys.com. In this next month or so until you go to training camp, how do you and your staff make sure that your players keep on the playbook and the install so that when you get to Oxnard, you don't have to reteach some things that you've been through this week or the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the deal. Number one, we want these guys to get away a little bit, and we think that's important. You got to recharge. It's a long season. I think that's good for all of us. The iPads that they have all that information on it. These guys have a really good plan. They understand, Tommy, that they're going to hear the same install, of training camp day one, of OTA day one, and so on and so on. I think that's important, but more than anything, it's the coaches just checking in on these guys throughout the deal. Why? Because we're not checking in on them. We care about them. We love them. We want to see, where they are they having fun? What are they doing? How's their family? How their wives, girlfriends, kids? But they're pros, and they know the importance of the FIB, or football intelligence. And I think that these guys are pros, and they're not going to need a lot of reminding. They know how important it is to get ready for training camp, both physically but also mentally as well.
With the defensive personnel turnover you've had over the years, or this year specifically, as you've gotten to see these guys the last couple of weeks, who stood out to you in a leadership role on defense?
There's a lot of them. If I started up front, Kenny Clark and Quinnen, obviously Rashawn Gary, Donovan Ezra, who's got natural leadership ability from the linebackers. Demo certainly. D. Winters has leadership ability. Shamar's got great control of what we're doing in the secondary. Jalen Thompson, P.J. Locke, Malik Hooker's done a great job from a communication standpoint. Caleb Downs has natural leadership ability. You don't hear the corners quite as much, on the outside, but a guy like Kobe Durant, he's got natural alpha, leadership to him. And I know I ripped off half the roster, but I think that's a good thing.
Now, I want you to they're asking them about the defensive leaders. And I think one of the things that's standing out about this Dallas Cowboys team, I told y'all this past week, but we may not realize it right now. But I believe this team has quite a few superstars on it. It has superstars. It has great players in the making. And you can see where they're trying to create. They're trying to create that. And I'm going to take this even further back, not just to the 90s Cowboys, but back to the Tom Landry era, 20 straight winning seasons. Tom Landry had some dogs on that team, man. Tom Landry had some dogs on that team. And you look at the 90s Cowboys, dogs on that team. And we're looking at the new Dallas Cowboys and how they're building dogs on that team. They're building that same kind of family, same kind of camaraderie, and that same kind of tenacity. They're doing it again. And we're watching a defense where you got a lot of hungry players now. A lot of hungry players. And so I'm loving it. I'm loving what they're doing. And I think it's going to pay. I think it's going to pay dividends.
Joe.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Brian, you kind of talked about the communication aspect there. Christian Parker was mic'd up and was kind of emphasizing the over-communication aspect of things. With that being such an issue last season, how have you just kind of seen that transpired under Christian Parker, just even in this early part of practice?
Yeah, I mean, day one. I mean, it started day one, and I think you see it. It's verbal, it's nonverbal, but the emphasis when you sit in the meetings, it's like last year I felt like we didn't do a great job in meetings, even talking. I know I talked about that, but it wasn't to the standard that I think it should be or that it is now. You walk into a meeting and you probably need earmuffs because, I mean, literally these guys are hollering calls, closed calls, rip-liz, whatever the calls are, and when there's motions and change of strength, it flips a lot of things, and you hear them all talking, and really at all three levels. I think the other thing I'll say is that our defensive line is communicating differently than most defenses I've been around with their anticipation of what runs are coming, protection are coming based on formation sets and things like that. And I think that's got to do with, number one, how it's emphasized in every room, not just with the linebackers or safeties, but also the experience that we have with our defensive line.
This past season, there was 22 tight ends drafted, the most in over 20 years.
Yeah, see, that's a very big deal because one of the things that got this team last year, people kept talking about communication, but I think in the grand scheme of things, even if they communicated, they didn't know where the heck they were supposed to be. Communication, and they were out of place even when they were communicating. I don't think they really knew where they were supposed to be. And so now we're watching Christian Parker. You see him out there over communicate. And, they're doing that rotation style defense that Vic Fangio does. They're doing it. And I noticed it even in that little 7-on-7 thing they were doing. Rather than backpedaling, what you do in that Fangio defense is that people rotate to different places on the field. I'm going to try to show that tomorrow or at some point this week. But you can already see that tree up there. And again, understand that Parker is going to help this offense do something it couldn't do last year. This offense couldn't get tweaked because it was destroying the defense even in practice. Iron sharpens iron. Well, if you're going against a bad defense week in and week out in practice, you can tell me anything you want to about the scout team. I mean, you can tell me anything you want to about who you're practicing against. If they're terrible, how much better can you be? You need to be challenged in practice. You need, for when you're running certain plays, you need to have a defense on the other side that's smart enough to stop your plays, to show you some things defensively that you say, oh, wait a minute, hold on a second. We didn't really think about this. They stopped us by doing this. Okay, let us do this, and let's see if we can fool them here. Because Christian Parker is an up-to-date defensive coordinator. He's running the same or similar defense. As they said, as Klayton Williams said, and a lot of these guys said, they're now running the same defense as teams like the Hawks, the Broncos, the Rams. I mean, you name it. So many people are running this defense. So many people are running this style of defense or similar. And so Christian Parker is going to have the Cowboys ready for those teams like the Packers, the Seahawks, the Rams. He's going to have them ready for them on the schedule. So Christian Parker is going to help this team in ways that people right now, they're not even understanding. But it's going to help this offense be even better because iron sharpens iron.
Seems like the league really wants to go to 13 personnel. Meanwhile, you guys thrived in 11 personnel last year. Why do you think the league is kind of going to that? And I guess with you guys specifically and the receivers you have, is that something you want to get more into, or is it just, hey, we got to play our cards?
No, I mean, I think we're always going to try to play our best players. I love our tight end room. I think the reason teams are doing is it tries to simplify. If you talk to most defensive coaches, they don't have more than 2 or 3 calls that they probably use in 13 or 22 personnel. So it does simplify their hand more than maybe 12 and 11 and things like that. But it's also, you can do so many things out of it because you can spread them out in 13 against base defense and maybe find a matchup with a pass receiving tight end or a back or someone that can expose a matchup. But you also can get in close quarters and pound the football. And so we did a lot of that in the red zone last year. Maybe not as much out in the field, but we also think that there's still a lot to getting our weapons and our speed on the field. And but the more that Scooney and Brev and Jake and these guys continue to grow.
What up, No House fam? What up, Real 910?
We have those, but you have to decide who you want to put on the bench.
Scott.
Skyler Dixon with the AT running back position. I don't know, would you agree that it's kind of tilted sort of league-wide from running back by committee days, maybe a little bit back toward kind of a bell cow back? And how does the pass catching component of a bell cow back, how big is that maybe compared to how we all sort of think of bell cow from the old days?
Yeah, I think honestly, as I look around the league, I think it's different.
No, I hadn't forgot Real
places. I think there's different philosophies for different coaches and different teams based on roster makeup. There's nothing that would make me and the offensive staff more ecstatic than for Jayden to take the step that we hope he takes because of the 1-2 punch that he and Javonte could potentially have, and Jayden's ability to hurt you catching the football out of the backfield. I mean, that's a dimension that we not didn't have, but that we didn't use as much because we chose to throw the ball to CD and George and Fergie and guys like that. But I do think that it's different. When we were in, Los Angeles or San.
See, this part of this, he said it's not that they didn't have it, they didn't use it. But that is actually a problem. That is a problem. When you play teams that like to blitz a lot, when you play teams that come straight up the field at you, when you play teams that's going to cut off those slants, you need a running back to where you can throw screen passes to. Cowboys struggled with this last year. You need a running back that you can throw it to out of the backfield. That's what they got Blue for, and they didn't do it. If you get a running back like Jayden Blue involved in that passing game out of the backfield, it is only going to make those defenses even more honest. And you're going to put defenses in a chokehold. Jayden Blue works out as a wide receiver too. Jayden Blue got wide receiver hands. If they can get Jayden Blue running and catching the ball out of the backfield, they're going to put defenses in a chokehold. If you can get Jayden Blue matched up one-on-one with a linebacker, get him matched up one-on-one on a safety even, Jayden Blue, I guarantee you, is going to be a handful. He's going to be a handful. That was the one part that they didn't develop into this offense last year. Man, you got to be able to run quick pitches. You got to be able to run screens. You got to be able to have your running backs running out of the backfield, running underneath. I mean, you really need that running back that can do that. Because if not, when you come across teams that say, hey, man, we're going to blitz you out of your mind, like the Minnesota Vikings, yeah, we're going to blitz you out of your mind. Yeah, you send that running back, you let him chip coming out of the backfield, send him on an out route, send him underneath. They want to run straight up the field, get you a screen to the right, get you a screen to the left. You want to change a pace? Instead of running between the tackles, get you a quick pitch. They had none of those things. They had none of those things last year. And you just got to be able to do some of that stuff. You just have to be able to do. Because if you can't add the screen game to your game, you are seriously limiting yourself. You are seriously limiting yourself. Man, you think about when Emmitt Smith, people do not realize this was, to me, where Emmitt Smith separated himself from Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders may be the best pure running back that people have seen. Emmitt Smith, folk don't realize how dangerous he was running and catching out of the backfield. Emmitt was dangerous catching passes out of the backfield. Would absolutely just destroy teams on screens. Destroy teams on screens. And so you got to have that in your game. You just have to have it in your game. You do. Yeah, hey, Country Phil, yeah, I agree with you. They were too busy trying to do screens with CD and Turpin. You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying, man. Yeah, Newhouse fam, I think Blue going to be ready. I think Blue is going to be ready. The thing with Blue is use him for what you got him for. Get him in space. You get Blue in space. He can hold his own, I believe, in space. Asante, he said Jayden Blue is an explosive offensive weapon. Anytime he has the ball in his hands from anywhere on the field, he just needs to get stronger physically, which I think he is doing. Bad said, I've secured me a golf cart. He said, I'm cool the rest of this event. My co-worker asking me why my volume max, because they say, yes, sir, you cover one of them content creators is making that serious money, boy. Oh, no, you can't sleep on the Rams. The Rams, now, I'm going to tell you, though, the Rams, y'all pay attention to the Rams. That Rams offensive line is not as good And I don't know if it's not as good as anything. That Rams offensive line isn't that good. That Rams offensive line isn't that good. But I do believe the Cowboys can go toe-to-toe with the Rams. We're going to see what they look like as a whole. I think the Cowboys can go toe-to-toe with them. Absolutely, I believe the Cowboys can go toe-to-toe with them. But Schotty's going to have to be on this game. Schotty's going to have to be on this game. There's no doubt about it.
Diego, now Los Angeles. You know, we had a pretty good running back by the name of LaDainian Tomlinson, who was the bell cow and could score catching, throwing, some throw touchdowns.
See, again, LaDainian Tomlinson was another one. See, LaDainian Tomlinson was like an Emmitt Smith type of running back. LaDainian Tomlinson could run between the tackles. He could run the sweeps. He was in the pass game. And like he said, he was in the pass game. I mean, he threw touchdowns too. LaDainian Tomlinson, goal line running back, you name it. Now it seems like today people are kind of, rather than having that one running back that can do all of those things, now you're looking more at, you know, they're splitting that up between, you know, a couple of running backs. That's kind of where the league has went. But if you got to do it, you just got to do it like that. But you need that other running back to be versatile. You need another versatile running back. Javonte Williams, he's a between the tackles runner, very powerful runner, but it just doesn't seem to me that the passing game is his repertoire. Maybe they'll add it to his repertoire, but it's not it doesn't seem like it's his repertoire. But Jayden Blue, it is in his repertoire because we saw it in Texas. Schotty's just got to figure out how to get it to him. He's just got to figure out how to get it to him. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see in Oxnard this year. Quentin says somebody tell Schotty screens or running back plays, not wide out. Boy, you ain't lying. Quinn Scott, boy, you are not lying, bro. Yes. Newhouse said we cannot say we can't, but we got some rookies who got to prove what they can do on this level. And again, Jayden Blue ain't no rookie no more. Jayden Blue is not a rookie anymore. And, Newhouse fam, let us not forget about Phil Mafah. I believe Phil Mafah going to have a few things to say about this, too. I think he's going to have a few things to say about this. Phil Mafah, he's going to have a few things to say. Yeah, Schotty has coached really good, can't be flat-footed. He got to be a lot more aggressive this year and open up that playbook.
Running, but we also love Darren Sproles. And so it's like, again, if you have that guy that can do it all, but I do think that there's merit in having multiple people that can do different things because of the punishment that position, takes on. And so I think that that's where, you're going to have to play a second and third running back throughout the course of the season. So it's nice to have some depth. And that's what we're trying to develop with Jayden and Phil and Malik Davis and guys like that.
I'm excited about Phil Mafah. I mean, if you want a big running back, he is a big running back. He 235, man. He 235. And he is, man, this dude is a truck. He is a truck. I want to see him really get involved. What's going on, Yamar? I want to see him get involved. What's going on, Asante? To be honest, Tyler Guyton actually did a pretty decent job against Myles Garrett in his first career start at LT. You know, Asante, I don't think that Tyler Guyton, I don't think he struggles against guys like Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is a power rusher. You know, Myles Garrett, he's not going to put a lot of moves on you. That's just not Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett just kind of, it may be one or two moves, but he beats you with power and speed. I don't think Guyton struggles with power and speed. I think where Guyton struggles is with power and quickness. That's where he struggles. Power and quickness. When you get a guy, I mean, it's just simple stuff with him. Dip him out, dip him in, you got him. Dip him out, dip him in, dip him out, you got him. It's the quicker guys, because I think it was Frank Lawrence brought up that Malachi Lawrence they were talking about Malachi Lawrence beat him, and I believe the way Malachi Lawrence beat him is with quickness. That's kind of where Guyton struggles. And again, he was talking about hand position. We've seen him get beat with hand position. I've also seen him get beat because his feet not quick enough. So we'll see what happens to him this coming year. But if he can get it together, the Cowboys are going to be devastating. Sante said Phil Mafah reminds me of a poor man's Leonard Fournette. Man, Fournette was it, wasn't he? I like what you said there, Bass, about Jerry. Jerry said no red shirt. Yeah, he said no red shirt season this year, bro. What up, real estate vet? What's going on? Now we just listened to Brian Schottenheimer and just kind of commenting on some different things about what he's talking about.
Real quick, just since Clarence didn't ask, I'll hit the injuries. I can't believe he didn't ask. He was caught up on GP. So Malik Hooker is going to be limited today. He's got a tight back. Deron Bland's doing great. Jalen Thompson limited today, a little bit more individual with the pack. Ezraku's doing great. James Houston's got a back. And then Dak's going to be limited in team and just practice. He's got a sore knee. Nothing we're concerned about. But
now, according to Clarence Hill, I saw him post this today. Now, I don't know, I can't verify how true it is, but according to Clarence Hill, he said exclusive. He said that Dak Prescott was actually suffering from fluid on the knee. He said Dak Prescott was suffering from fluid on the knee. I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm not really into. I don't really understand that because I've never known Dak Prescott to have a knee issue, and why would he have fluid on the knee? So I'm kind of like, I'm not really understanding that part. But that's what he said. He said Dak had fluid on the knee. So he said they feel like it's nothing serious. I also saw where they said Dak Prescott was out there moving around like nothing was going on. So it is okay. Let's keep going.
We're just going to be smart heading these last couple days. So really healthy as of now.
Babe.
Babe Lockmark, 105.3 of the Fan Cowboys Radio Network. So, Brian, last week you talked about how you were going to be more involved in the defensive meetings and special teams meetings. And Coach Landry, famously handled all three, but it's a different time.
Sure.
Have you thought about and obviously you're going to be the play caller, have you thought about your allocation of time? There's still only 24 hours in the day.
Sure. Yeah, it's different. Like right now I'm spending, I would say, pretty balanced, Babe, in terms of how much time with the offense, with the defense, with special teams. It's going to be different in training camp. I might not be in all the meetings. I might be in the quarterback meetings more than I'm in the defensive meeting, but I'll probably go offset that by watching film with the defensive staff. So now that we're getting into training camp, a little bit more longer days, more time. There's meetings, there's practice, there's walkthrough, there's practice film review. There's plenty of time to get it done. But at the end of the day, the job of a head coach is to oversee everything and make decisions that help you win a championship. And kudos to all those guys that did that. I'm not sure how many guys still do that today. But my dad tried to do it, and I think he did it pretty well. I still there's a picture right outside my office of Tom Landry and Roger Staubach on a chalkboard, which, again, takes you back to now everything's technologically, iPads and this and that, PowerPoints. And so you still can get a great product by doing things a different way, but you have to adapt with the times.
Now, I like what Brian is saying. I don't really want him spending, time in the defense like he's got to, help them fix the defense. But I will say what I do like about what he's saying. I said this when he first came last year. One of the things that bothered me about the Cowboys was when Jason Garrett was here, when Mike McCarthy was here, when Wade Phillips, I believe, was here. This is what I got from all three of those coaches. It actually wasn't a cohesive team. It was like Jerry hired an offensive coach and a defensive coach. And even though the offensive coach was the coach, he's the offense coordinator and the coach, it didn't seem like the team was cohesive. It was always like it was like two teams against one another. It was like it was two separate teams. And even with the special teams, it would be like it was 3 teams, and they were not cohesive. And so I can remember that when Wade was here, it was obvious something was up between Wade and Jason Garrett, because it didn't take a rocket scientist to see that Jerry Jones had already replaced Wade Phillips long before he replaced Wade Phillips. I mean, he already replaced him. And then when he got Jason Garrett, I can't remember who the coach was. I mean, the defensive coach. I think it was the older guy. I can't remember his name, but people were always talking about, how, he's got this bend, don't break defense. Man, I didn't care nothing about his defense. I didn't think it was that good. Mike McCarthy came here. I think Mike McCarthy had to be the worst example of what we saw. Mike McCarthy, Jerry Jones tried to give Mike McCarthy the opportunity to be the coach and oversee the whole team. He wanted to call the plays. He told Jerry he was fine with not calling the plays, only for him to find a way to wrestle the playbook away from Kellen Moore and get Kellen Moore ran out of town. And then Jerry hired Dan Quinn. And then Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, they never seemed like they was on the same page. It was like Dan Quinn got his own team, Mike McCarthy got his own team, and they were not. It was like Mike McCarthy had no say-so over. It was like Mike McCarthy had no say-so over Dan Quinn. And I forget that hot shot. I forget that hot shot special teams guy who was here running fake punts on his own 30-yard line, and Mike McCarthy coming up in press conferences defending him. I mean, this guy was the ex special teams coach, I believe, for the New England Patriots. Oh gosh, you want to talk about an egomaniac. It was like it was 3 teams. Brian Schottenheimer, what I like about Brian Schottenheimer, Matt Eberflus thought it was going to be the same thing. And I believe Brian Schottenheimer shocked everybody. I don't think Jerry told Brian Schottenheimer to go in that defensive room. I believe Brian Schottenheimer told Jerry he was going in that defensive room. And Brian started trying to tell Matt Eberflus, you got to make some changes, make some changes. He made changes and then he reverted back. And then Brian Schottenheimer booted him up into, y'all remember when he booted him up into the coach's box? Booted him up into the coach's box. And so now what Brian has done, he has strategically, he's got the coach that he totally endorses, and a coach that I'm sure listens to him, and that he is actually he's not going to oversee the defense, but he's got a coach to where he can walk in the defensive room and that coach won't feel uncomfortable. He can walk into the special teams coach room. He's not going to feel uncomfortable. That they understand that Brian Schottenheimer has taken control of this team. I think they all understand that. And I think that's why this team is going to look a lot better this year. I'm so excited to get it on the field. I'm so excited to see what it looks like on the field.
Sadi's at The Athletic. Brian, going back to the 13 personnel question, even the running back, the league always has different trends that come in and out. How much do you try to get ahead of the trends sometimes and not just fall in line with what the league might be doing scheme-wise, but trying to see if you can develop something that could become the trend that, other teams are kind of looking at?
Yeah, I think, you want to be curious. You want to see what other teams are doing because there's a lot of really smart coaches and great players in the league that you should be studying and looking at. I think
what up, Stephen White?
We're a little bit different, though, as we don't just take someone's play or a concept or a coverage that someone ran and say, okay, we're just going to do it exactly that way. We're going to do it with what fits us. And, I think, at the end of the day, there's always a cyclical thing about the scheme in the National Football League. I think a lot of the trends come from college. You see them from high school to college. We all sit around Saturday afternoons, watch college game, and there's more space and things like that. But, that's kind of a predictor of where some things are going to come from. But believe me, when we're watching film of other people, we're looking not just for trends, but for, okay, these are the schemes that we like that fit us. Because if you try to go steal something that doesn't fit you, like, more than likely it's not going to work, And again, we're not going to be a 50% 13 personnel team because we've got some receivers that if they're on the bench, they're going to be yelling at me and in my ear. And
and they're too good.
We can still have the things that we need to keep the defense off balance, but at the end of the day, you have to have an identity, and I think that's what we're curious what our identity is going to be exactly heading into this season.
And last few years, you've gone through the contract.
Now, I want y'all to think about what Brian Schottenheimer said. I've already shown y'all this a few times. I'm telling you right now, when you look at Brian Schottenheimer in his second season with Seattle, a lot of people, I think they're anticipating Schotty, being even more run-oriented this season. Go back and look at his second season in Seattle. They opened it up. When DK Metcalf came to town, they opened it up. I got a feeling they're going to open it up a little bit more. He kind of knows what CD Lamb, he kind of knows what GP is now. Ryan Flournoy is taking another step. Michael Trigg, anybody? Grown man. Michael Trigg, grown man. You just wait. He's going to open it up a little bit more. I think it's still going to run, but I think he's going to open it up a lot more. I think he's going to try to get a lot of these things going. Michael Trigg, I think they'll try to work him in. He's a talent. I am telling you. You've already seen him. Trigg is a talent. Jayden Blue. I think they're going to try to get Jayden Blue to do more things like he did at Texas. They're going to try to get him to do more Texas things. And so I think he's going to do a lot more, man. If you just go back and look at what he did, and yes, Stephen White, they started, that's where that let Russ cook. Let Russ cook. He's going to open it up, I believe, this coming season more, because it seemed like to me, I was a little bit surprised. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I was a little bit surprised because I thought a lot of Brian Schottenheimer stuff looked like Mike McCarthy. It didn't look a lot different from Mike McCarthy to me. I could be crazy, but it didn't look a lot different. I actually thought he was going to do a lot more things than he did, but I didn't see it. So we'll see what happens this year. But he just said something that I think is key. We got to decide what our identity is going to be this year. What is our identity going to be this year? Well, let me tell you something, man. You got George Pickens in the second year. It's time to go for broke, man. If you were not the number one offense last year, you need to be the number one offense this year. And I'm not saying try to do it per se, but you got the personnel to do it. You got to really put together an offense, man. Again, man, when you look at the people on the Dallas Cowboys schedule this year, you're basically playing. I truly believe the Dallas Cowboys, we'll look at that schedule in just a moment. The Dallas Cowboys are playing, I believe, every team that's going to be in the playoffs. I believe the teams on their schedule, the good teams on their schedule, they will be in the playoffs. The Cowboys are going to see 3 of those teams, I believe, again. They're going to see them again. And I'm so thankful we got Christian Parker, because I believe Christian Parker, because of the way he runs his defense, will be ready for those defenses when we see them.
Situation with players just here. What have you learned about going through that with Micah, CD, Dak, and what delicate conversations are or not? How do you plan to approach that with George?
Yeah, I'm authentic. I'm who I am. I'm not the one negotiating contracts with these guys, whether it's Dak, whatever. If they come to me and ask my opinions, I'll give them my opinion. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to ask them about my contract or how much I pay for a house or this or that. Those are personal decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm going to always support those guys. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be real. They know I'm there for them if they want to have those conversations. But, at the same time, I've got a job to do. And, I think it's an easy answer, but it's the truth. If George wasn't here, I don't care any less for George. I still love George. I'm glad he's here, but at the end of the day, the business is the business, and I have a relationship with these guys first and foremost.
Patrick.
Hey, Coach Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Circling back to Jayden for a moment, he's saying things nowadays like he's more mature. He's, quote, I'm a different person than I was this time last year. He's leaning on the vets, looking to practice and play to the standard. From a coaching standpoint, what does that do for you to see his development in such a short period of time, and what do you feel like he can be in year two?
Well, one, I agree with what he's saying. I think he's come back with a different look on his face. I think he's practicing better. I do think that, as he continues to grow, he's got to understand and realize that until he's the bell cow, that there's going to be other roles he's going to have to fill, whether it's coming out of the backfield, catch the football, special teams. But I love the idea of a change of pace back to go with Javonte, who is just an absolute pound.
See, this is what I love what Brian Schottenheimer's saying. Do y'all see how he sounds now? I'm telling you, this may look exactly like it looked in Seattle. His first years in Seattle, I believe they were top 5 in running or something like that. They were very run heavy. But if you didn't notice, you've just heard him say in the last 10 minutes, and especially in the last 3, talking about Jayden Blue. Jayden Blue catching out of the backfield. Jayden Blue. Last year, I liked big backs, and I cannot lie. This year, 1-2 punch. We didn't hear him talking like this last year. 1-2 punch. And there were people out there who were saying, oh, the 1-2 punch don't work. Teams aren't doing that no more. I mean, I'm just telling you, some people just be talking just to be talking. Having a change of pace running back, it never gets old. I don't care what anyone says, it never gets old. It never gets old. Having a change of pace running back, beating a defense down with Javonte Williams, and then bringing in a Jayden Blue, who is a step faster, quicker, can get outside and get out in the passing game, get in the screen game, line him up in the slot. That puts defenses in a chokehold. Whether it be Jayden Blue or they bring in somebody else, but I think it's going to be Jayden Blue. Implementing Jayden Blue is another wrinkle that will keep teams off balance. It's another wrinkle that will keep teams off balance. You watch what I tell you. Man, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm lining Jayden Blue up in the slot. I'm letting him run in. I'm letting him run slant routes. I'm letting him run go routes. I'm going to run him on jet sweeps. I'm going to use Jayden Blue in ways that is going to drive people crazy. Some of those plays that they give to Javonte Turpin, they need to scoot some of those plays to a bigger player, as in Jayden Blue. Javonte Turpin needs to go back to returning kicks, punts, and being the gadget guy. I think he's more versatile when you do that. Run him on deep crosses, run him on fly routes. Do those types of things with Javonte Turpin. He's not a traditional wide receiver. You can let Jayden Blue do some of those things, and you'll be that much more dangerous. They will be able to put defenses in a chokehold. Najee, what's going on? Najee Nightingale. Him and Adams did a solid job with the center and the guard combo regarding the run. I forgot the other guy that's working with Klayton Adams. He's also done a bang-up job. Bassett, I'm telling you, we're more tight-knit, yes, than we've ever been. I know you can attest. Yes, we are. And this is why George showed up. Yeah. George said he did it for the team. Marvin Mays said our defense is going to prepare our offense to face the upcoming opponents this season. No doubt about it. This is one of the best things they did. Iron sharpens iron. DeVar's World, I tell you what, it's going to be a clash of the Titans between those teams. It is. Yeah, he got Dak and CD got him for real. He can hold, he done told us, he say God will handle the rest. Yeah, he going to do his thing, man. DeVar's, I think we're good at all three levels. I really do. I really do. I think we're good at all three levels. Man, if we can keep the Marion Overshown healthy, and if he can really get that mic, we're gonna be good. Marvin May said last year was big backs, this year is quick backs. Yeah, you know what he said? 1-2 punch. 1-2 punch. Bass said when Dak has had a running back that could preemptively be full, real bell cow running back like Zeke, Dak excelled. You're not lying, G. And Bass, think about this. And remember what happened when Tony Pollard got into the mix? They were nasty when Tony Pollard got into the mix. Tony Pollard was the hit your head on the goalpost back. There was a point in there, had Zeke not got hurt, I believe that Zeke and Tony Pollard was about to go down the stretch and do some damage. Country Field, Detroit, yep. Yep. I think we're going to see a lot of that coming. Yeah, Bass, he needs a complimentary back. And again, Phil Mafah, anybody? Phil Mafah? I don't think Blue, they're going to use Blue different this year than they used Javonte. They got different plans for Blue. Yeah, Blue has to, Bass said Blue has to be the man this season, no doubt. Yeah, they got different plans for him. Yeah, real estate vet, you talking about Dak Prescott? Yeah, we're going to have to be smart with Dak. This break is going to do Dak really good. Yeah, it'll do him really good. Yeah, let Dak in the playoffs one more time to see what happens, G. He going to get in there more than one more time. They got a team now. Yeah, he got a team now. He's ready to do some things.
Bruiser, a guy that's going to, score.
What up, Wicked? Long time no see.
But Jayden's a huge part of what we're trying to do, and he's got to do his part, and I think he is doing his part. But that's got to continue. And this is not a knock at Jayden, but like right now we're not playing real football. We're not. Real football is when you got to pick up Demo coming off the edge in a blitz, or you gotta run the ball in there and Quentin Williams standing in the hole or whatever. I mean, that's real football. And so I've seen a lot of great players that are awesome in shorts, and then when you put the pads on, you're like, man, what happened? And I don't predict that for Jayden, but my point is,
Jayden Blue gonna be fine as long as he don't put them Louis Vuitton cleats on. He gonna be fine.
I'm not gonna get too high or too low on anybody. Right now, I'm just excited about the fact that he has matured.
Keeping to that position, you mentioned, rightfully so, Javonte is a bruiser. So is Phil Mafah in his days at Clemson. He essentially had a red shirt year last year with the exception of the finale. What are you seeing from him, and what kind of push can he make to get those reps at RB2, knowing that there's a little bit of redundancy with him being a bruiser and Javonte?
Yeah, again, I mean, there's certain roles that, he might fit better than Jayden, and there's certain roles that Jayden might fit better than
No, I agree with you, Bass. He got to be the man this year. He is going to be the man, I believe.
I try not to have to call plays based on which back's in the game. You like the flow of the game to come to you as a play caller. So really it's the guy that does the most things the best, and that's what you're thinking. But special teams is a huge part of it.
Okay, real estate vet. Let me go back and look at that.
Phil came back late last year. There was things that we saw from Phil. His run instincts are unique. They're elite. They really are. And to evaluate him on last year alone is hard because of the shoulders and what he was dealing with, and he really wasn't, 100%. But again, another guy that I think when the pads come on, you're going to get a great sense of where Phil Mafah is.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Hey, Brian, going back to defensive communication, how big of a difference is it, length of play call defensively, whether it's like a couple phrases or a couple sentences, and have you noticed a difference between this year and last year in that aspect?
Yeah, you know how CP, he's very convicted and short when he speaks, very direct. The play calls, I would say, are that way as well. Not that it's easier to call, but and I'm the all-time volume guy and verbiage guy as an offensive guy, but it's cool to see these green dots kind of rattle those 2 or 3 words out of their mouths, which is a little different than what we did last year.
You had something else, Clarence?
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you. Real quickly on Jayden, is he limited, or do you have a vision for him special team wise? Usually a guy like that would be a returner. Well, he's not
Sure.
a returner, and so to get him on game day, what can he do special team wise?
Yeah, it's a great point. Again, whether we end up using 1 returner, 2 returners, that's always something in play. Terp's obviously elite. Jayden obviously would be an elite returner. He's also got gunner ability because he's fast. But there's certain restrictions that he has in other areas. But there's things he can do from a PP standpoint and stuff like that. He's certainly athletic enough. But the first 2 things would be gunner and returner.
Yeah. Got to go.
Good. Thanks, guys. See you out there.
Yeah, that's best. That's not going to be his role, I don't believe. I think they'll do some of that, but I don't think that's going to be his role. Yeah, they don't need to run. And I hear Brian Schottenheimer saying you don't need to change the style depending upon the running back. But the reality is you actually do. Jayden Blue cannot run like Javonte Williams. But I don't think Javonte Williams can run like Jayden Blue. You got to run. You got to call that game, whatever you want to, whatever he's calling it, flow of the game. Well, in that flow of the game, you got to be able to say, when you look at that defense, to say, hey, we got these guys on the ropes. Let's hit them with some speed and quickness now. Let's hit them. They've been looking for those between the tackles run. Let's hit them with some of this outside stuff. Let's hit them with some fake runs and then get the back out of the backfield. Get some screens. Yeah, they got to get him. They got to get him going. They got to get him going, and you got to get him in. You got to get him in his element. Get Jayden Blue in his element. You got to get him in space. Don't get a guy. It doesn't make sense to get a guy like Jayden Blue, and we all saw on full display what he did in Texas. Why would you get him and try to use him out of his element? Get him in space. Get him to where he can let that speed loose. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to probably have about a 2 or 3-headed monster. I think they're going to have about a 3-headed monster. I think Phil Mafah is going to fit into this too. If they want to run more with like Javonte's running, they will bring in Phil. If they want something a little bit different, they'll bring in Jayden Blue. I think that's what he's going to do. I think that's what they are going to do, because Jayden Blue can't run like Javonte. But I still say Javonte can't necessarily run like Jayden either. But we're going to see how it all turns out. Yeah, DeVar's Worley. And I don't know if he ain't got heart like Javonte, but man, shoot, let me tell you something. Just somebody who just kind of played football back in the day. Like I told you, I ain't finna tell you I was no doggone D1 recruit. But I can just tell you this from the little time that I played in football. Man, people don't know what it's like to run up the middle of a defense. Shoot, that's a whole different thing. Running through the A-gaps and knocking dudes down, nah, bro, that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different ball game. And I don't even think he was, I just don't think that's his thing. I mean, you don't get Jayden Blue to run like Javonte Williams. That doesn't make sense. You scout. That's called scouting. I scout Jayden Blue because I'm looking for a running back like Jayden Blue. I don't scout Jayden Blue and say, yeah, man, now I want to turn him into Javonte Williams. That don't even make sense. They're not even the same type of running backs. You can't run the same plays for Jayden. You can. I'm not telling you that you can't. But it's going to be futility. This isn't just Jayden Blue. The principle that I'm talking about, it's not just Jayden Blue and Javonte Williams. It's any running back duo in the league for the most part, depending upon how they are built. And even when they are built the same sometimes, you're still not running them the same. Again, Detroit, anybody? You're still calling certain things for each one of those running backs. You're not calling them exactly the same. You're just not doing that. And then that's what they got to do. Understand who this guy is. That's bad scouting. I mean, that's absolutely bad scouting. To get a guy who, and then you try to turn him into something that he's not, well, of course he's going to fail. Of course he's going to fail. But I believe Jayden Blue is going to be fine. I believe the Cowboys, he's going to be fine. I believe he's going to be fine. I think he's gotten a little bit used to the game. I think he'll be fine running for the Cowboys. And again, kind of looking at this Dallas Cowboys schedule, I just think it's very interesting when you look at the Cowboys schedule. The Cowboys schedule, they are literally going to play, if you ask me. I believe the Cowboys are going to play. Their schedule is comprised of every playoff team we're going to see in the NFC. I believe it's comprised of every playoff team. I believe you're probably looking at the Commanders, the Buccaneers, the Packers, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Cowboys. I think they're playing every playoff team. Every single playoff team, they're playing it. They're playing every single playoff team, I believe. Every team that'll be in the playoffs, they're playing them. This is going to be an incredible season for the Cowboys. So where people are saying that this schedule is brutal, I don't think this schedule is as brutal as it is. I believe that this schedule is actually set up for the Cowboys, one, to succeed. Number two, it's set up for the Cowboys to be prepared for the playoffs. I think it's absolutely set up for them. It is. I love the way this schedule is now, like I told you before, and especially when you look, I've already told you the key to this schedule is going to be from Philly to Philly. From Philly to Philly is going to tell us what we're going to do. From Philly to Philly, that is the key. I believe the Cowboys from Philly to Philly, they should win no less than 4 of those 6 games. And I'm not going to be surprised if they win 5 of the 6. The Cowboys should actually win 5 of those 6 games. Could actually win all 6. You're talking about the Cowboys at the Eagles. I think they'll beat them. Cardinals at the Cowboys. I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals and the Cowboys. They seem to always beat the Cowboys. Hopefully it won't be this year. I believe they can beat the Colts and will beat the Colts. Hopefully we'll beat the 49ers in Dallas. We are going to beat the Titans, and then I think we'll beat the Eagles in Dallas. So when you look at those 6 games, they'll win no less than 4. I think they'll win 5, could win 6. You get 6 games right there. The only thing you have to win on those other games is 3-3, and you got 12 wins, and I think they're going to get that. I think they got a great chance at getting that. And when you look at what this defense is doing for the Cowboys, it's really going to prepare the Cowboys for these modern day defenses that we're looking at with the Rams, the Seahawks, the Eagles. They run that same type of defense. We'll see what the 49ers run, and I think the Packers are going to run something similar. I mean, when you look at what Christian Parker runs versus what these other teams are running, oh man, we're getting prepared. We're getting prepared for battle, y'all. We're getting prepared for battle. And then the great thing is when you look at the Cowboys after they come off of that Eagles game, they played the Eagles on November the 26th, 2026. Then they come back and play the Seahawks, what is that, like 10 days later? Then they come back and play the Rams 13 days later. They are going to be well rested for both of those games. They're going to be well rested. Even though they're going to be on the road, they're going to be well rested. They're going to win one of those games. I believe they're going to beat the Rams or the Seahawks. Mike could beat both. We don't know what's going to happen, but I think they'll at least beat one. Again, this Cowboys team, I believe it is going to the playoffs. It is definitely going to the playoffs. And Christian Parker's defense is going to be a big part of helping us get ready for that. And I believe it's going to help Shotty be better. I do. I believe it's going to help Brian Schottenheimer be better. All right, let's go over here real quick before we get to some player interviews. I want you to hear Klayton Adams. I don't know if y'all have seen this piece, but Klayton Adams is talking. He had some kind of. Klayton Adams did an interview on a podcast, and he was talking about Javonte Williams. I'm gonna see if I can find this entire. Interview, because if I'm not mistaken, he's actually saying some things about GP and CeeDee Lamb. So I'm going to see if I can find this entire interview. He's talking to this guy, Ari Mayrove. Let's see. He's going to talk about Javonte. Let's see if he talks about what's the name in this. If not, I'll see if I can find the rest of it tomorrow. But this is Klayton Adams. Let me put a little note on this real quick. This is Klayton Adams, I believe, talking about Javonte Williams. Check this out.
Javonte Williams. The reason I say that, this is a guy who battled back from a major injury and all the physical and mental challenges that came with it. I know that there were both of those for him back in Denver. And then he goes out there in his first year of Dallas and is rushing for over 1,200 yards, has 11 touchdowns. When you got to Dallas last year,
I got you,
your lead back. What did you see in him that made you kind of believe, all right, he could have this type of a
year? Just first and foremost, I had always been a Javonte Williams fan. I think he came into the league when I was in Indy, loved evaluating him, come out of North Carolina, loved his physical play style. But the first thing that you notice when you're around Javonte is like, this guy's an adult. He is very mature. He's very smart. I'm really into guys that are great teammates, and that dude is a great teammate. Like he helps people out. He communicates with the quarterback, so he makes Dak feel comfortable back there that he knows he's going to be protected. His game is extremely well-rounded. He's a good pass protector. He's got a fundamental game out of the backfield. We're not really restricted on just being a between the tackles team with him because he was relatively efficient with some of our outside zone stuff. So I have a lot of admiration for the guy. He's certainly one of my favorites.
That was the first one that I was very impressed by, and it's such a cool story for him to get that second contract, or I guess third contract now, but their first real big one this offseason, signing back for 3 years and $24 million. Really, really happy for him.
Yeah, man. Javonte Williams is definitely one of them. I'm going to see if I can catch, let me see if I can, let me look at this guy's page real quick. Because he said a few more things, but he's, of course, talking about Javonte Williams. I want to see if he got a longer talk on this about, all right, this is actually a pretty long interview. Let me see here. I'm gonna go through and see if I can get some more pieces of this tomorrow.
He'll never be able to make it work in Dallas and all those different things. And for him to show up and do it.
All right, let's check him out talking about GP. This is them talking about George Pickens. Hold on, let me put a little marker on this. I'll make sure I release this tomorrow. All right, this is Klayton Adams talking about George Pickens. Check this out.
But the George Pickens thing, the amount of negativity that was surrounded around him about diva, he'll never be able to make it work in Dallas and all those different things. And for him to show up and do what he did and the way you guys handled him with the season that he had, that was beyond impressive.
I actually didn't know that much about him. I knew that he was a really talented guy. I think if I'm going to tell our players that I want them to be themselves and I want them to be authentic and I'm going to be myself and I'm going to be authentic, George Pickens is George Pickens. He is very rarely in a bad mood. He is happy. He loves football. I think he felt comfortable in being himself in Dallas.
Welcome in.
I think that's key. I think that's key. George Pickens felt comfortable being himself in Dallas. I think that's key. I think that's key. Let me see if I can find a little bit more on this. All right, yeah, he's got quite a bit of. This is a nice little podcast here. This guy, this is my. I've seen him. He's come across my feed a few times. I think I just started following him. Seems to have some really good stuff on here. Yeah, I'm gonna come back and do some more stuff on this. But I wanna talk a little bit more about George Pickens. Let's see.
Cool story. The other one, and I know there's a contract situation or whatever, we'll put that to the side. But the George Pickens thing, when you guys traded for him, the amount of negativity that was surrounded around him about diva and he'll never be able to make it work in Dallas and all those different things. And for him to show up and do what he did and the way you guys handled him with the season that he had, that was beyond impressive and was one of the greatest trades that we had last year in the NFL. When that went down, and did you sense that this could actually happen with a player like him? Because that was unbelievable last year.
You know, I actually didn't know that much about him when we traded for him. I knew that he was a really talented guy. I tried to kind of avoid consuming too much of some of the negative things that were being said about him because, you know, I really do think that when a guy's, you know, getting a new environment, he should get a really fair shot at making it what he wants to. But I I think if I'm going to tell our players that I want them to be themselves and I want them to be authentic and I'm going to be myself and I'm going to be authentic, there's like George Pickens is George Pickens. And like, I guess you probably really only know what that means until you're around him a whole bunch, but he is very rarely in a bad mood. He is happy. He loves football. He's always smiling and laughing. He's got a continuous laugh. And just like any other player, there's going to be some positives that you deal with. There's going to be some negatives that you deal with. And those are things that we all have to deal with in-house in order to kind of make this big brotherhood work that we're trying to build. So I think he felt comfortable in being himself in Dallas. And there's just like I am this offseason, there's some things that we're going to need to kind of sharpen and narrow and get kind of closer to the middle of the road on. But he feels like he can be himself and he feels like he can play, be the type of player that he wants to. He's got a quarterback that can get him the football. He's got an elite receiver on the other side. And hopefully we can continue to kind of control the middle of the field with having an efficient ground game. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that he likes. And at the end of the day, like that guy wants to win.
I mean, I'm just telling you, Clayton, Javonte and George, the season that they had last year, especially with George, the perception that the outside had of him and the way he shut everybody up, it was one of the more impressive things. And again, the credit goes to coaches and everyone on that staff for being able to do that. And of course, he himself for being able to lock in and finally have a consistent situation the way he did in Dallas with the quarterback play and everything else.
Mark Davis, you still out there?
Else happening up front and all of that. My last two things here before I wrap this up. There's a saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The Eagles apparently took their shot this offseason and put in a request to interview you for their offensive coordinator job. And the Cowboys said no. What was your reaction when you heard about that? Because Nick Sirianni, who we mentioned before, is the head coach. But the idea of OC to OC in the division was just never going to happen.
I guess my biggest response would just be like, there was nothing in that entire exchange that was surprising for me. You know, like I understand why the Cowboys felt the way that they did on it. And I have a lot of respect for Nick, and he was one of the guys that gave me my first opportunity in this league. So none of it is surprising and none of it is disappointing. It's just the way that the business works, and I'm extremely to be where I'm at, and my kids go to really good schools, and my wife is really happy living here. And so I get to be the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys when I wake up in the morning. Press Taylor, the coordinator.
I'm gonna do some more on that story tomorrow, but I really want to hear what he had to say about George Pickens. But I will say this about Klayton Adams. I think he probably would have been a great OC for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think the Cowboys were very smart in denying the Eagles an interview with Klayton Adams. I mean, could you imagine Klayton Adams and his style of play calling as far as running the ball? Could you imagine Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley with Klayton Adams? Whew! Man, it'd have been a problem, man. It'd have been a problem. It would have been a problem, man, in this NFC with Klayton Adams over there with those two runners. I mean, even though I still say that Saquon Barkley, I think we may have seen him hit the wall. I really do. I believe he's hit the wall. I'm telling y'all, man, when you hit them 2,000 yards, when you run them 2,000-yard seasons, that is tough on people, man. That is tough on people. Yeah, you said he comes across as an individual that doesn't take BS for an answer. He seems like a really good guy. Yeah, that is tough. Make sure I save that for tomorrow. Go check this out. But, man, I am telling you, having Klayton Adams, oh, my gosh, that would have been a problem. That would have been a problem. For sure, that would have been a problem for this NFC. So I'm glad we got him in Dallas. All right, let's hit a couple of quick hits here before we go to some of these player interviews. Emmitt Smith. I don't know if you saw this. Very proud of Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith was in Dallas. Emmitt Smith was in Dallas. Yeah. Man, you are not lying, real estate vet. Yeah, Beast Mode did not hit the wall, for sure. He did not hit the wall. Emmitt Smith was in Dallas. And I really like the fact that he was out there. Hold on. Let me mark something here. Yeah, Emmitt was in Dallas. Emmitt was in Dallas talking to Javonte Williams. I got a picture of him talking to Javonte Williams, I believe. Yep, Emmitt Smith was in Dallas. I think this is a big deal. Emmitt Smith, the NFL's all-time leading rusher, is back at his old Dallas Cowboys stomping. I told y'all before, I hope we see more of this. They really, man, I would love to see more of these Cowboys legends around the Dallas Cowboys. I really would like to see more of these Cowboys legends. What is going on, Miss Matrix? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, should have been wearing the mask tonight. Oh, hey, let me tell you, I can't freeze everybody tonight, so I probably would have suffocated in the mask tonight. I probably would have suffocated. Emmitt Smith was at the camp today, and I just absolutely love it. We've seen Michael Irvin. We've seen Emmitt Smith, Tony Casillas. I think Dez Bryant's been out there. We've seen quite a few players. And I think Emmitt is out there because he just wants to be. I wonder if Darren Woodson has been down there on the field. And I think some of these guys come out because they want to come out. And this just kind of goes to show you that, you know, when you start thinking about Troy Aikman, I just can't recall where Troy Aikman has done things like this. I just can't recall. And it seems to me that Troy, he don't want to come in on his own. He don't want to come in for nothing. And this is where I got a problem, because it seems to me that Troy wants to come in on top. He wants to come in in the front office. Why do you need to come in the front office? There's a lot of these players that come around their teams. It's not just the Cowboys. You get a lot of players that come around their teams' practices, and nobody's paying them, I'm sure. They come out because they want to. But that ain't how Troy want to do it. If I really wanted a job with my old team, well, one of the things that I would do is I would hang around the team sometimes, and you wouldn't have to ask me to do it. I would be asking you, is it okay? Can I come and hang out at the facility around the team? I would actually be asking you. And when we think about Troy don't want to come in like that. Troy wants to come in, Troy wants to come in, and for lack of a better term, he want to come in like, man, I'm the man. I'm the man. I want to come in, and I want everybody to acknowledge I'm important. That's not how Emmitt and these guys do. That's not how Michael Irvin does. Michael Irvin comes in like somebody who just wants to be a part of what's going on currently and encourage these guys. Now you got Emmitt Smith in here. What is he doing in here? Just encouraging these guys. Emmitt Smith sees something in this team, and Emmitt sees that he believes that they are on the right track. I mean, that's how you do it, man. That's actually how you do it. What up, Gerald Jackson? He said, great to see the legendary Cowboys with the present roster. Yes, Shotty definitely appreciates it, as well as the current players. I love it. Man, I was saying this last year, Gerald. I said last year they should have been doing this. They should have been doing this last year. Real estate said everyone's stopping by except who really needs to stop by. Hey, real estate vet, man. Hey, man, you ain't gonna get Jimmy. I don't care who you are. You are not getting Jimmy. People don't understand how Jimmy won 3 Super Bowls, goes to the Miami Dolphins, got a bad taste in his mouth about the NFL, realized that it's not always greener on the other side. I think he realized that he could have done things different in Dallas. He could have done a lot of things different in Dallas, and could have did a lot of things different in Dallas, but he didn't want no more part of football. And then he got those big checks over there at Fox. You're not getting Jimmy to do nothing. Even if you get Jimmy, and Miss Major said he was a consultant, and I don't even know how much of that he did. You're paying Jimmy. If you really want Jimmy, you're paying Jimmy. But Jimmy at the same time, man, I just think Jimmy is so far removed from football. I really think his last few years at Fox, I just think he was winging it. Jimmy was winging it, man. Jimmy was done. Jimmy sits out there on the boat down there in Miami, getting suntan, got his hair perfectly gelled up and manicured. Man, Jimmy don't want to deal with no football. You ain't going to get Jimmy to come around nobody's team. Trust me when I tell you. Jimmy ain't coming around nobody's team. Jimmy don't want nothing to do with football. I'm just telling you, he don't. Jimmy been tired. I believe Jimmy been tired of football. Like I said, even at Fox, he was mailing it in. He was mailing it in. Yeah, I don't think he was doing a lot of consulting, Bass. I don't think he was doing a lot of consulting. I just think he was winging it. For real, I just think he was winging it. And that's why I believe Fox finally said, hey, man, we're not going to renew that contract. Man, Jimmy was down there winging it. And Jimmy, I just don't think Jimmy is into football like that no more. I think he likes football. I just don't think he's into it. But again, you get a lot of these guys coming around. And the one guy who you don't see coming around is Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman. And it really, and no hate on Troy Aikman, but it really goes to show you how Troy Aikman wanted. He wants to come back as somebody. That's what Troy Aikman wants to do. That's what Troy Aikman wants to do. So, I really wish Troy would come around. I really do. I wish Troy Aikman would come around. But he ain't going to do it. He's just not going to do it. He's not going to come around. Yeah, Gerald Jackson. Jimmy was done, man. Jimmy was done. A lot of people don't realize that. Jimmy was done. He was done. Boy, he was done, bro. And that ain't saying nothing bad about Jimmy, man. He did his part. Jimmy said, I'm done. Country feeling. That's my problem with Troy. He wants an invite. But I don't think Jerry is inviting these people. Shotty is inviting these people, and some of them are coming in on their own. There's nothing. I don't think there's nothing that would, if Troy wanted to come by Dallas, I don't think Jerry would stop him. He wanted to be brought back. He wanted to be brought back like I'm somebody. No, don't work like that, bro. Don't work like that. And so I guess Miami done rolled out the red carpet for him, but we've seen we've seen Miami with Jimmy Johnson, how that work out. So we're gonna see how it works out with Troy. But nevertheless, man, Emmitt Smith, shout out to Emmitt Smith. Yeah, man, shout out to Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith showing up for the Cowboys. And again, I believe Emmitt is believing that the Cowboys are about to do it again. You can just tell by the way he's been talking. I believe Emmitt believes the Cowboys are about to do it again. He likes a lot of the things they're doing. You can even tell the way Michael Irvin is talking. Michael Irvin is talking like he believes the Cowboys are about to do it again. And so this is why I believe you're seeing them more and more. They're hanging around the Cowboys. They're hanging around the Cowboys. So let me see here. I want you to hear. Got another thing here. There was something else I wanted y'all to check out. Hold on. Who is this? Let's see. Let me check my notes here. Okay, I got Darren Woodson. Darren Woodson is going to talk about Jerry Jones. But there was one more thing I thought I had, but maybe I don't have it. Let me see. Okay, I thought I had it, but I don't. Okay, so the Mike Leslie thing. I guess I don't have the Mike Leslie thing. I thought I had an article from Mike Leslie. Let me make sure. Thought I had another article from Mike Leslie, something that he said today. But I guess I don't have it. Maybe I thought I had it, but I don't have it. All right, let's go over here. Let's go over here since we talked about Emmitt. Let's go over here to Darren Woodson. Oh, this is it. Okay. Darren Woodson. Let me read here. Hold on. Gerald said, Troy doesn't need a dramatic entrance. Family just shows up. Everyone bring a dish and work with the squad. It's a family affair. And that's it, man. But Troy don't want to do that. Troy wants to be asked to come back. He wanted to be asked to come back. Hey, bro, don't work like that, man. Don't work like that, man. This is a whole different ball game. Come on, if you want to come on over here, man. Nobody's saying you can't come. Real Estate Vet said that's why Jimmy Cole come in for one dang team, come to Jesus and put sacrifice. He said come in for one dang team, come to Jesus and put sacrifice like the Knicks did. Man, I'm telling you, Jimmy checked out of football. Jimmy won those championships. Jimmy checked out, man. And especially after Miami, Jimmy said he'd had enough. Okay. I want to let you see this thing. This actually is it. It's Mike Leslie. Mike Leslie having a conversation with Darren Woodson. And Darren Woodson, you know, we heard him talk about Jerry Jones the other day. Now he's going to talk about some more about Jerry Jones. He's going to give Jerry Jones some flowers. Check this out.
This is a big business. This is bigger than just being on the field.
I got drafted by the biggest visionary in sports history in Jerry Jones. So, you know, when you put that star on your helmet, you always know how big it is. Business is big. You know, on the ownership side,
What did you know as a player that this is a big business? That this is bigger than just being on the field?
I got drafted by the biggest visionary in sports history in Jerry Jones. So, you know, when you put that star on your helmet, you always know how big it is. Business is big. You know, on the ownership
What up,
side, the
Ignacio?
families always carried themselves in a way that
Appreciate
everything
you.
was grand.
Yes, sir.
So it's kind of just came with the territory. I don't know how I would have been if I would have gotten drafted by, you know, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know if I would have known how big things were in business, but you know, sports is a big business, and I learned that early on in my career just because I was around the Jones family.
Yeah, see, this is the part that people miss about being around the Joneses and, you know, when they engraft you into the family. You know, he's got an office there on the 3rd floor, I believe he said. I mean, you know, when you get in that Jones family brand, you'll be making money. You'll be making money your entire life with them. Ignacio, he said, thank you for your outstanding content as always. Nacho from the Bay Area. He said, I feel the same way with the Cowboys this year. 2026 or 2027 will be the season. Caleb Downs was my dream draft. Yeah, I believe these older players are feeling it too. I believe Troy especially. I believe Emmitt and Mike are feeling it. Miss Matrix said, Troy, the uncle who need a personal text, can't just be good with the Facebook group invitation. Ain't gonna happen, though. Ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Nope. It is not gonna happen. I mean, you know, Aikman is taking so many shots at this organization. I just think they're like, heck no. I just think they're like, heck no, we're not calling him. Yep. They're not calling him, especially after this last issue. They're just like, nah, we ain't calling him. He can do whatever you want to do. We ain't calling him. So that was, you know, Darren Woodson just talking about he got drafted by the biggest visionary in sports history. I'm telling us people do not understand what Jerry Jones has done for this game. Jerry Jones is truly a sports visionary. And there are other leagues that look at what Jerry has done in the NFL, and they're copying some of those things. And the only thing out there that's really bigger than the NFL right now is the World Cup. It's the only thing bigger than the NFL. And Jerry got visions of sugar plums dancing in his head because the NFL, backed by Jerry Jones, they're trying to do the same thing with the NFL. They are trying to do the same thing with the NFL. They are trying their best. Before you know it, we're playing teams overseas right now. We're playing Rio de Janeiro. We're playing games overseas. But there will be a day, I believe, that they will be actually playing teams overseas. Like other teams. They'll form those teams overseas, and we'll probably see some kind of clash of the Titans between the best 8 teams in the world or something like that. So I could see that day coming. They want football to be on that same level as football as in soccer. That's what they want. They got a long way to go, though. They got a long way to go. Soccer is a big-time sport all over this world. But it is a big-time sport. All right, let's see if we can go back to a couple of things here. You know, today. Well, let's go back to this. This is what I want to look at. I actually don't have this on the list. But I'm going to push this back up to the George Pickens situation. Brian Broaddus said something that I found to be very interesting today. And I don't know if y'all heard this, but I kind of caught this about an hour before as I was preparing. I heard something from Brian Broaddus. Man, this is very revealing. And I believe it. Listen to what Brian Broaddus had to say today about George Pickens. This is banana bonkers. Hold on a second. This is bonkers what he says. And I believe it because
Well,
I
I'll tell
actually...
you what, I know the other day I was talking about this because I visited with some people.
Hold on a second. Let's see. Let me... Okay, this is Brian Broaddus. He got us some inside information. Check this out.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know the other day I was talking about this because I visited with some people that are close to George, and they were saying that George is the boss. That George is the guy. I mean, he's represented by a couple different guys, David Mulugeta. And
y'all hear that? Now, George today said that they tell him what to do. Well, when he was saying that, I was saying today, I didn't quite believe him. I said today I didn't believe him. And the reason why I didn't believe him is because people said that David Mulugeta doesn't let his players play on franchise tags. And here we have George Pickens playing on a franchise tag. And I noticed that George said that he was waiting on his agent to tell him when he could come. But you know the part I didn't hear him talk about? His agent told him whether to sign that tag early or not. I didn't hear George Pickens talk about that. I didn't hear him talk about that. I heard him talking about signing it early. I didn't hear him say that my agent told me to sign it early. I didn't hear him say that. This sounds like that he signed it early because he wanted to. And I believe what Brian Broaddus is saying is actually true.
And Trey Smith were the two guys that he does.
Steve Scott?
No, I wish it. But no, Trey
Quite
Smith.
a talent.
Yeah. But this guy told me, he's like, listen, George is his own guy. So for him to come out and say, I know David's the boss and all that, that's a little bit, I appreciate, hey, horses from the horse's mouth. But people that are close to George, they're telling me, they're like, George runs the operation there.
I believe it. I said the same thing today.
You can't handle the truth.
I said the same thing today.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I said the same thing today, Bass. I said the same thing today. When I heard him say his agent was the boss, I questioned. I said, that don't sound like him even being there didn't sound like his agent is the boss because he's setting a precedent that we had not seen. I don't know of anybody else. I don't know of anybody else who had done what he said, who had done what he's doing. I believe he's the boss. I believe he is the boss. We are looking at a player who is saying that my agent works for me. And if I want to show up, I'm showing up. I know the risk that I'm taking. I'm showing up. And I'm not holding in and I'm not holding out. Let me tell you something. George Pickens had some people so mad today. And it is mind-blowing to me as these people who, and I'm telling you, just watch how people act when you don't do what they want you to do. You'll get people who will say they love you and they like everything, they like you. They'll be trying to convince you how much they love you and they'll be telling the whole world. And then when you don't do what they want you to do, they will be the first one out there to start dragging your name. And some of these same people, I'm just looking at them on social. I'm just looking at stuff they're posting and I'm just flabbergasted and dumbfounded. They're out there dragging George Pickens. They're out there dragging this young man saying, oh, he's conceited. He's conceded to the Cowboys. He's just doing what he's told. He's just being a good little kid. And I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we insulting this young man like this? Because he understands the situation and he understands it's better for him to do what he's doing than to do it like these people want him to do it? That's crazy. It is crazy that there are people out there mad at George Pickens because George Pickens didn't come in with a bad attitude. What did I tell y'all today? They wanted George Pickens to come in and top Micah Parsons. Oh, I guess they wanted him to come in with 2 trays of nachos, a hot dog, a beer, a margarita, riding on a scooter or one of them little two-way things. I mean, what did they want George Pickens to do? It is insane when you think about these people out there who started dragging George Pickens because George Pickens didn't respond the way that they wanted him to. They wanted George Pickens to show out. Yeah, he showed out. He showed how much of a man he is. That's what he did.
You can't handle the truth.
That's what he did. And they're out there dragging this man. And then trying to blame people who understand the situation and talking like we're the problem. What are you talking about? We're not the problem. We are not living George Pickens' life. We may be commentating on George Pickens' life, but we're not living George Pickens' life. We're not. George Pickens understands what this is. And he said as much today. He said the people who are in control. I love it.
You can't handle the truth.
I love it. George is saying something, man. I know the situation. I know the situation. I got to do what I got to do. I can't be out here being dumb. I love this team. I want to play on this team. And I'm going to do what I need to do to be on this team. Come on. Man, I just can't believe people were out here dragging this young man. And this is how you know how people are. When you don't do what they want you to do, you turn to their enemy. It's sad. Bass said, I owe you an apology for what? Oh, he said, I apologized the other day on the subject. But, man, we doubted you. I doubted Pickens, but that shame. No, man, it's all good, man, Bass. It's all good. Because I'm not talking about you. But I'm just saying. I don't know if y'all saw some of this stuff. There are people out here dragging George Pickens now because he didn't come in acting a fool. It's sad, man. It's sad. Y'all have heard me say this before. Y'all better listen when I tell you. This is why you don't let a man build you. Because the man that builds you is the man that can kill you. I don't let no man build me up. You know the talent you bring to the table. Don't you let nobody build you up. I've learned this about people over the years. They're your friend until you don't do what they want you to do. That's how the fake ones are. That's how the control freaks are. That's how the people who benefit off you are. Shoot, I'm telling you, don't let nobody build you up. They'll build you up to tear you down like a Lego block, like Lego blocks. Don't you let people build you up. You always know what you bring to every situation. Because I'm telling you, those people, the moment you don't do what they want you to do, they're done with you. And it is sad to watch people drag George Pickens and just talk down on this young man talking about, yeah, man, he conceded. What? Nah, this young man is being genius. He's smart. And I believe every word that Brian Broaddus is saying that he got from that inside person. I believe every word that he's saying that he got from that inside person. George is his own man. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I absolutely believe it. I absolutely believe it. And it takes a real man. Let me tell you something. It takes a real man to do the right thing in the face of adversity when everybody wants you to do another thing. It takes some strength to do the right thing when people want you to. They wanted him to do the wrong thing. And this dude, he came in smiling to my, he ain't smiling about the Cowboys. He ain't smiling about the Cowboys. He mad. Well, it's strange to me. They said he was mad. He said, I'm glad. Yeah, I don't know what they talking about, man. They said this man was mad.
You can't handle the truth.
This man said he was happy. No, he ain't, man. He ain't happy. Could have fooled me. Bass said, Broaddus said some interesting things. I'd like to ask you as our guide, who is True Smith and that other lady that reps GP3 on the Getter? I was today years old when I learned this. I tell you, I don't even know. I don't even know. Man, these guys be having multiple people. I guess doing multiple things is all I can figure. But I can tell you this, no matter who's working for him, I believe Brian Broaddus. He said he's his own man.
George is very much like you work for me kind of guy.
Yeah.
So, it's a little bit surprising to hear that, but listen, hey, I just think what you're going to do is you just hope you, as a Cowboy fan, that you get the absolute best 1 year out of this guy.
I think you will.
And if you do, great. And then if you want to tag him again, or money comes free, or you want to make it something long term, then you could do that. But like I say, I am not surprised he hasn't practiced, or he went through the individual and stuff today. But to be ready for camp, good for him. That's exactly what they need to do. Well, I'll tell you what.
I said the same thing. You got people out there acting like that, this is all some kind of front. But it's the right thing to do. Why would you have George Pickens out there running plays? And why would you have him out there doing that? It's not that he doesn't know the plays, but why would you have him out there doing that? Didn't he mess around and pull a hamstring? Nope. Don't do it. If I'm the Cowboys, George Pickens ain't practicing the whole week. I'm keeping George Pickens over there with the trainers. I'm keeping him doing individuals. I don't want him doing too much of anything. All I want George to do is be a part of the installs, get the plays down. Maybe we'll do some walkthroughs. Maybe we'll do a little bit of half-speed stuff. But I don't want George Pickens doing anything excessive or strenuous. I don't. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm going to handle him with kid gloves until we get to Oxnard, California. I'm going to handle him with kid gloves. And even in Oxnard, I'm going to be real careful with how I'm operating with George Pickens. I absolutely am. I'm going to be real careful in how I'm doing it. Absolutely, I'm going to be real careful. Why? Because it's not because I don't want him. It's not just because I don't want him to get hurt. It's because he means a lot to us for this season. And this man is about to get paid out of his doggone mind. About to get paid. Gerald Jackson said GP is walking in faith, embracing the journey with the Cowboys. He knows his talent is worth he's standing on business. Man said, I doubted when you said that too, laughed my butt off. He said, man, I'm going to leave it alone. He said, don't go pushing that button no more. That's like lashes. He said, I don't like vinegar versus honey. Man, I'm telling you, GP is just playing this thing so smart. And I really believe what we're seeing is I believe we're seeing the real George Pickens. I really do. I just think we're seeing the real George Pickens. Bass said, so be it. They know his value isn't determined by a controversial tag. Yeah, I've been saying some of this stuff, man. And I think these things, I think what George Pickens is doing, I'm telling y'all, man, George Pickens is winning in ways that people just don't understand. George Pickens is absolutely winning. He's winning, and he's winning big. He is winning big. And, man, let me tell you, man, doing things right is just the best way to do things. It's just the best way to do things, man. You know, when you just do what's right, man, you don't have to prove anything. And that's what George Pickens kept emphasizing today. I'm actually not trying to prove anything. People are proving things to themselves. He's saying, but as for me, I'm just being me. And like I said today, can't nobody beat you being you. Be you. Be who God wants you to be, and be that great person that you say you are. Bottom line. Yeah, Gerald Jackson, he said, totally agree, G. GP is a professional. Keep him upright and ready for September. I mean, hey, Gerald, GP is a big part of what the Cowboys are going to do this season. And I believe they know it. And I'm just telling y'all, guys, I don't have any proof of this. But I still would not be surprised if George Pickens gets an extension July the 15th.
You feel like you're settled in as a pro now, and how's this mini?
And I'm going to tell you something that's even crazier. I'm going to tell you something that's even crazier. Watch what Jerry Jones does if George Pickens gets that extension. Watch what Jerry Jones does. George Pickens will be the break the bank conversation. Watch what I tell you. The moment they extend George Pickens, you're going to see Jerry Jones come out and say, I told you we were going to break the bank. And we broke the bank signing our own. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you, man. You watch what I tell you. That will be the break the bank. If they extend Pickens, that will be the break the bank conversation. We broke the bank on Pickens. You know, we changed our mind. I'm just telling you, that'll be the break the bank moment. All right, so we got some player interviews here. And the one that we got Malachi Lawrence on the docket, Tyler Smith on the docket, Javonte Williams on the docket. So let's check these three guys out. Let's check this out. This is Malachi Lawrence. Oh, let me do some housekeeping here. Trying to put a bunch of timestamps in here for people who come back and watch this in the morning. Lord willing. Not to mention, I can cut some of this up for videos. All right, this is Malachi Lawrence. And let me tell you something. I'm excited about Malachi Lawrence. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am excited about Malachi Lawrence. Let's check him out.
You feel like you're settled in as a pro now, and how's this mini camp?
This mini camp's been great. You know, just locking in with the vets. And yeah, I'd say I definitely feel like I'm starting to get into that that routine of being a pro. You know, it kind of started at UCF too, NIL. So coaches are kind of forcing you to now be a pro. So I say it's been really good.
Talked a little bit last time we talked to you about false stepping and that stuff and trying to correct that stuff. Obviously worked with BT Jordan about it. How have you kind of seen that already maybe start to showcase itself out there?
Right. With the false stepping, I've seen great work, like just hitting it every day, just making it one of my key focuses so that I can use my explosiveness to my advantage when getting off the ball. And so just working with BT with that has been great.
Have you felt faster?
I am telling y'all. BT Jordan. BT Jordan. Right now is the best defensive hire the Cowboys have made. I'm telling y'all right now, BT Jordan is incredible at teaching teams how to rush to how to get to the quarterback. 68, I believe, sacks in 2024 by the Broncos. 63 in 2025, I believe it was. BT Jordan is that good. He's going to have Rashawn Gary on fire, Malachi Lawrence on fire. Klayton Williams has talked about how glad he is that he's here. I've already shown you the BT Jordan system of getting quarterback pressures and quarterback sacks. You know, for all the people who say you need the Myles Garretts and you need the Max Crosbys, well, go look at what BT Jordan did without those types of players. Go look at what they did. Even go look at what the Seattle Seahawks did without those types of players. You get one player with double-digit sacks, and everybody else, all you're asking for is 6 to 7 sacks. That's all you're asking for. And so BT Jordan, man, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I cannot remember how many sacks. Donovan Ezaraku got last year, but it couldn't have been no more than, 3 or 4? I'm going to go out on a limb. Malachi Lawrence will get more sacks in his rookie season than Donovan Ezaraku got in his. Book it. Book it. In this new system, book it.
Yes, definitely.
How are you handling the playbook so far?
Oh, it's been good with the playbook. I feel like I'm a pretty fast learner, so that's really been easy. It's just now when I get on the field and do it, it just sticks.
What have you learned from a guy like Rashawn Gary?
A lot. Like, just he's very focused on the small details. So
yeah, Dixon right behind
like
BT.
Said, false stepping, whether it's working on our steps to get into the tackle, just little things like that. He's big on me with that.
Shotty talked about his leadership ability and what he's kind of brought so far. He's obviously a new guy in the building too. How have you seen just his leadership kind of transpire? Does he feel like a new guy, or does he feel like kind of the leader in that room?
No, he definitely feels like the leader in that room and on the team as well. It doesn't seem like he's the new guy on the team at all. Like, just the way he's carrying himself. Excuse me. Just the way he's carrying himself, and like you could just see he's been in the league for some years and he knows what to do.
How do you approach learning the playbook? Do you have any tips and tricks from UCF that you have here? What have you taken with you?
Right. Just really like first it starts with like just looking at the play, knowing your job first. So it just starts with that and just writing down, just taking notes. Really.
What up,
like,
Chili
if you
Philly
take good
fans?
notes, you'll learn it because when the coach asks you a question, you can reciprocate it back.
Brian Schottenheimer said along the defensive line, he hasn't always.
Have y'all noticed something else about these players that Christian Parker has brought in, and you know, kind of what you're seeing Brian Schottenheimer bring in? You know, you're really looking at guys when you start listening to them talk, and it's fascinating to me to listen to them talk because you got guys with brains. You can tell you're listening to intelligent players talk. Intelligent players. It's just great when you hear that kind of talk. You got players that, you know, you're asking them stuff about the game. They can understand it. I mean, it's just great to hear this kind of talk.
Seen as much pre-snap communication like amongst the D-line.
Yeah, you're right, Tyrone Church, more intelligent.
And what's that been like participating in that?
Right. All good defenses communicate, and communication just helps if you're confused with something or you don't know, and you never know, the person next to you could have really needed that and it helped them make the play. So that's just really big on communication.
You're now going from your last year at UCF to the pre-draft process and rookie mini camp and now OTAs and mini camp. You haven't really had a chance to kind of take a breath and rest, but after these 3 days, you're going to hit that downtime in the NFL for the first time for you. What's the balance for you as far as trying to maintain, you know, sharpness as a rookie going into training camp so you can hit the ground running, but also trying to just take a moment to take care of yourself?
Right. So like connecting with the vets first. So just asking them questions like, what?
Hey, I see you, Miss Matrix 77. I see that. Hey, let me tell you something. If we got 70 sacks, we went to the Super Bowl. Hey, let me tell you something. We get 70 sacks, we won the Super Bowl. Boy, this defense, you get 70 sacks, that defense is top. That defense is top 5 defense, no doubt about it. That defense is top 5, boy. That defense is top 5. Kid Brown, what's good? What up? I think what happened with CP, he wound up going with Vic Fangio. He's kind of followed Vic Fangio. You know, if I'm not mistaken, he followed him over to Philly.
They do during the off season because they've been in it longer than me and I'm new. So just asking them questions, getting those type of questions, and then what was the other?
Just how do you, as a rookie, how do you make sure that while you're, getting some rest and taking that time away, you also know that you have to be in your playbook and you have to make sure that you're ready to go day one in Oxnard? How do you, balance that other thing?
Right, just staying locked in. Just looking at the bigger picture, like this off time is going to be good for me. Like you said, I haven't had really any downtime, but it's just like staying locked in. Like the main thing, keeping the main thing, and just coming into camp in shape and ready to go.
How's it been away from the?
They told me the weather's great. It's a great setup. So that's all I have to hear is the weather's great.
How's it been away from the facility? Anything you've done with vets or fellow rookies that have just kind of helped getting you comfortable here?
I haven't done really anything with the fellow vets, but like with our fellow rookies, we've been going bowling, just doing like a little bit of team bonding, stuff like that.
Any guy you've grown close to early on?
Yeah, I say LT Overton, him.
BT Jordan was with the Denver Broncos, Bass. I bet they're beating their head against the wall right now. I bet they beating their head against the wall. Cowboys swooped in and stole BT Jordan from the Denver Broncos.
DJ.
Miss Major, this is Malachi Lawrence, our high-paid defensive end or edge rusher.
Withers, Tommy Dunn, those guys.
Caleb's obviously got a lot of attention as the first round pick. You feel like you've been kind of allowed to be in the shadows a little bit and just kind of get your work done without people noticing as much?
Yeah. that's how I was at UCF. Like, I'm kind of used to being in the shadows, so it really doesn't faze me. It just, once the time comes, people will see the work that you put in.
How were you that at UCF? How would you describe that?
What you mean?
Like being in the shadows at UCF, you mean?
Right. Like not being in the spotlight. Like, if you get on Instagram, you probably won't scroll and see my name, but like you'll probably see some other guys' names. So like just being in the spotlight there. But like once you kind of get to know who I was, then it's kind of like became out of the spotlight.
Is that kind of how the draft process went a little bit for you? Because I think early on people were like, hey, maybe a second, third round pick, and all of a sudden, as people got to know you, you were a first round pick.
Right. Yeah. Like kind of building up into the combine. Like I knew I was gonna kill the combine though, so it was just funny just hearing all the mocks and stuff like that. But yeah, just being kind of in the shadows and then rising to the top, kind of used to that.
There's a lot of faces that you've got to learn, including your playbook. Do you have a good handle on every player in the locker room now, or still learning names and faces?
It's like both. So like some guys I'm still working on, but other guys I'm pretty close with.
You had any interactions with George today?
Nah, not really. No, ma'am.
Dak's number 4. I don't know if you do that one.
It's so funny listening to this guy, man. Cowboys got these guys. They are demons on the field, but they also sound like they can beat you in a game of chess. I mean, many dudes been like they tear you up in a game of chess, bro. They tear you up in a game of chess, tear you up in golf. I mean, they could probably beat you in cricket. Man, these dudes, bro. Boy, the Cowboys got them some absolute super nerd athletes, bro. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. These dudes sound like that what they are seeing just comes so easy to them, man. I mean, I absolutely love it. They did exactly what they set out to do. They wanted smart players. They wanted intelligent players. They went out and got them. I like it, man. I absolutely love what the Dallas Cowboys have done. I love what they've done, man.
He knows, don't hit that one.
Exactly.
Good job, Tom.
I think we're good.
All right, bet. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think we have a good.
Man, I absolutely love it, man. I love these types of guys. I love these types of guys, man. What's going on, Richard Owens? Yeah, Bass Parker done told us only guys that's brains working, man. We got some players that's just smart, man. Miss Major said, whoa, did anyone see Rasheed got chased down out of jail? What? That reporter did not get the Maury traded because Rice got away. I'm gonna have to find that. Gerald Jackson, he said absolutely, gentlemen off the field. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy, but we got a sub, man. We got a sub Gerald Jackson. Man, we got a sub that can absolutely, we got some smart guys. I love it, man. I love it. And we already know Ty Smith. Man, this dude right here, Hall of Fame written all over him. Hall of Fame written all over him. Absolutely incredible player. Love Tyler Smith. Dude can play, I guarantee he can play every position on the line. And if need be, he could be the left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. This dude is incredible, and I'm glad the Cowboys went ahead and tied him up in a deal. This is one Tyler Smith.
A good idea where we need to improve going into the season. And we have a good plan of attack going into the offseason as well. I know we've talked about it. It's kind of like a leadership group, making sure that we hold our guys accountable as to like having a good plan in the offseason, but really excited to be back with everybody here in the building. I think this is the most important room in the building, to be honest. I think it's all about the culture that we build. Obviously, I think, training camp and everything we do today is going to be a huge part of that, but just continue to build every day and continue to create championship habits, continue to do everything like a champion, whether that be practice, whether that be eating, stretching, all of the things of that nature, because ultimately that's what it's going to take to host up the Lombardi, so yeah.
Having George back in the building today, how nice was it to see him again?
Oh, it was extremely nice. I actually saw George this weekend at a concert, but it's nice to see him here as well. But no, definitely good to have him back. Obviously, I know there's a lot going on around that, but my focus is on the individual. And, as long as George is happy, as long as he's working, obviously in the building with us, I think that's the best place for him for sure.
For him to say, hey, I'm not holding in, I'm not holding out or anything.
That's up to him.
Wait. That part right there. That part right there. Did y'all hear what he said? Let me rewind this back. This guy said the same thing I said. This is the best place for George Pickens. He said the best place for George Pickens to be is here. Listen to him again.
I just saw George this weekend at a concert, but it's nice to see him here as well. But no, definitely good to have him back. Obviously, I know there's a lot going on around that, but my focus is on the individual. And as long as George is happy, as long as he's working, obviously in the building with us, I think that's the best place for him for sure.
For him to say, hey, I'm not holding in, I'm not holding out or anything.
That's up to him. That's up to him. As long when he's here and he's with us, I know that he's locked in. Like today, he was locked in. So every time he's here, he's with us.
What concert you gonna see?
Don Toliver. I know.
Oh, okay. My son went to that Don Toliver concert. Okay. They like Don Toliver, I see. My son is acting like I didn't know who Don Toliver was. I know who Don Toliver is, man. I know who he is. All right, they was at the Don Toliver concert. My son not really into sports. He could have been right beside George Pickens, or he could have been right beside George Pickens or Ty Smith. He never would have knew. He never would have knew it. Cause he don't watch that. He's not really into football like that. He probably was right by one of them. All right, let me see. Miss Majors, you sent that to me. Hold on a second.
It was actually. It was my first time going to one of his shows, so it was good. It was. I was impressed. Probably 4x4. Not many people know that though, but 4x4, I do like that one.
What do you do after camp breaks up until Oxnard?
Up until Oxnard, so I'll be around here working out, obviously. I'm going to try to take the family sightseeing. We normally take a vacation every summer, so we'll do that. I'll limit it to 10 days max because, I got to work. But we'll do that. We have some good locations queued up. No spoilers.
You get a chance to check out AT&T Stadium with the soccer field out there? Or?
I actually have not been there yet. I've seen some pictures because I believe Japan was playing there, correct? Japan just played there. So I saw some pictures. It looks completely different. Like, if those were our locker rooms, I don't recognize them at all. That was crazy. But I do hope to ultimately make it to a game while they're down here. Obviously, I got to see where the schedule permits, but it'll be exciting.
Have y'all noticed, how they're really promoting the World Cup? I mean, they have everybody doing it. They're making sure they're asking everybody about this World Cup, and asking them if they're going to a game. I mean, man, you know what? I played soccer as a kid like other folk, but I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I ain't gonna even start lying to y'all. Brother like me will not be watching the World Cup. I will not be watching the World Cup. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I will not be watching the World Cup. I'm not knocking anybody who do it. I mean, it seems like a lot of people are excited about it, but this also seems to be a part of the plan. They're making sure that everybody's going to watch the World Cup. Yeah. Let me tell you something, Gerald Jackson. Yeah, Tyler Smith, one of them dudes, man, you try to call him a nerd at school, try to talk about him, and you wind up, you got your head knocked off. Yeah, he don't play about his. Yeah, Gerald Jackson, I agree. Yeah, unity is the key to our success. And I've said this over and over, Gerald Jackson. Sound like a broken record. But what Jerry didn't understand about what Jimmy did, Jerry has never had a problem getting talent. Jerry's problem has been building teams. And it seems like Jerry has finally conceded that the key to building a team is letting somebody who know how to build a team do it. That's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it, man. Consult with somebody who know how to do it. You don't have to be, you don't have to get credit for everything. Shotty is smart. He's not going to do the same thing Jimmy did. Shotty is going to make sure every bit of the way that Jerry, Steven, Will McClay, the front office, all the coaching staff, every player, ball boy, ball girl, everybody that works in the concession, janitorial service, and everybody, Brian Schottenheimer is going to make sure they all get credit. He's going to make sure of that. And, when you get an egoless person like Brian Schottenheimer, you can make things happen. And so we finally got a team. We're building a team finally. We got a family. Brian talked about the culture. We want to have the best culture, and there it is. Miss Matrix said, you're right, Miss Matrix. You can tell, too. It's a deal, G. They're pushing NFL in other countries. Yep, that's what I was talking about earlier, which is why there's so many next season. Got to push soccer here, too. After all, it is real football. I agree. Because the NFL wants what soccer is. They want to be what they want to be what the FUTBOL is, or however they spell football. They want to be that. They want the NFL to be worldwide. And I can see a day, Miss Matrix. Just like they're having the World Cup in soccer, I can see the day in the next 10 years. There will be a World Cup in football. I can see it. I can see a day where there will be a World Cup in football. They'll take the best team from every country and they're gonna duel. I believe they're gonna duel. Miss Major said, "Come on, G. Oh, you like soccer? All right. Played for 15 years? Wow. Only got heavy in the football when he quit playing. Hey, I ain't mad at it. I used to play when I was younger. I won't be watching it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be watching the Miss Matrix. But hey, I ain't mad at anybody who watching it. I mean, they're really making a big deal out of it. And I'm sure there's going to be some people that's going to enjoy it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that's going to enjoy it. Jared Jackson said he just want the highlights. There are going to be a lot of people that's going to enjoy it. Yeah. Bad says, watch Duke Manyweather film on the TIA. Guidance is excellent. He just loses confidence when his hands are down or misplaced. I saw that. I saw somebody talking about that. He doesn't recover fast, and Bot shows us this too. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. What's going on, Braves? Man, where do you work at? You still driving? You still driving to work? All right, let's listen to some more Ty Smith. Let's check him out.
Oh, yeah, I heard they like knocked out some of the foundation, right? That was up under it. Like they removed all the concrete. And yeah, it does blow my mind. Hopefully, that can happen for us one day. So
Would you rather play in grass and turf?
I love it. Whatever's best for our bodies, ultimately, like, our longevity, the health of the league. I think that's the most important thing. So if science supports that, grass is what it is, like, I think that's what we should be on.
Yeah, they're really making a big push for this this natural grass. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
No problem at all. Thank you, guys.
That was Ty Smith. I don't think it's going to happen, the whole natural grass thing. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I don't think it's happening. I really don't. I don't think it's going to happen. I bet Odell Beckham Jr., you think about a guy like Odell Beckham Jr., Odell Beckham Jr. would still be playing probably if he played more on grass, especially what is, as violent. You think about a player like Odell Beckham Jr., very violent runner. Odell Beckham Jr., man, very violent runner. And, man, I'm just tripping on the fact he's playing for the Giants. I doubt he has any cartilage in his knees. I really do. Doubt he has any cartilage whatsoever. All right, let's listen to this one from Javonte Williams. Man, I am so looking forward to Javonte Williams having a killer season this year.
Yeah, it felt good to be back out. Have all the guys back around, just building our chemistry. Trying to go on a run this year.
Oh, I got you. Okay, Braves Cowboy.
Last year you had a very successful year. Let's talk about what your goals are this year.
Yeah, just to build on last year, try to be a better version of myself.
It's like the radio for you tonight, dude.
Stay healthy throughout the whole season.
It's like the radio.
It's like just win games.
Talk about the team that this draft class and come in and what do you see?
Yeah, just everybody that came back, all the new pieces that we added. I feel like everybody doing good. Just seeing everybody out running around, moving on the field and things like that is very positive. I like the way the offense and the defense going.
Javonte obviously dealt with injuries.
Let me tell you something about this young man right here. This is another young man that's built the right way. And I'm not saying this because he gave the Cowboys a discount. But I believe it's why he gave the Cowboys a discount. And I believe he gave the Cowboys a discount is one, I think he probably, like I've talked about and others have talked about, he probably weighed out playing somewhere else, making more money, weighed out playing somewhere else, making more money, but more taxes. And even though, he's not making as much as he would somewhere else, he might be making about the same amount, if not more, because he's staying here. And I think he loves this team. I think he thinks they're on to something too. Miss Major said, I can't hold you, G, not going to any games either. Have you been near the stadiums? Oh, my son was telling me you don't even want to ride near there. My son was saying you don't even want to ride near the stadium. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But Javonte is really, 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 built of the right stuff. He's absolutely built of the right stuff. Let me see here. And when people start looking at stuff like this, all things are not created equal contrary to what some people think. When you look at the highest paid running backs just at face value, and kind of what wound up happening, you know, he was one of the first running backs to sign, but he actually didn't try to sign for, let me see where he is on the list. Let's kind of look at where he is on the list of highest paid running backs. I mean, he just wanted to stay in Dallas. Bottom line. I mean, he got a new deal. Javonte Williams, he got a new deal. Total value of the contract is $16 million. His average per year is $8 million. Look how far down the list he is. He's got total guarantees of $16 million. And his total guarantee, the fully guaranteed, and I think this is where he did win. He's got $16 million fully guaranteed. Got $16 million fully guaranteed. But, you know, when you kind of look at that, I mean, now the fully guaranteed money, you know, if you just start looking at that, he's kind of up. He's kind of up in here. You know, he's kind of up in here somewhere. But, man, the Cowboys really got him on a bargain. They really got him on a bargain. They really did. Fully guaranteed. I mean, you look at Saquon Barkley, and the bad part about Saquon Barkley, the Eagles are about to get totally just raked over the coals on this deal because I believe Saquon Barkley has hit the wall. McCaffrey, McCaffrey is just a beast, but he just can't stay. He can't seem to stay all the way healthy, it seems. Derrick Henry is incredible. So we're going to see what happens with him. But in the grand scheme of things, Javonte Williams, man, the Cowboys got him on a very good contract. And I don't think they got him on that good contract because they necessarily messed him over. I just think he wanted to stay with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. I can't knock him for that. No, I really can't knock him for that, you know. Yeah, I can't knock him for that, but he's a really, really good guy. And a part of it is, too, coming off that injury. That may have played a part in some of the pay, too. But nevertheless, he wanted to be here, so he's $16 million richer. And the contract is actually short enough that he can probably still play. Let me see here. Bass said, I know that's money he may or may not have gotten before, but is that a team-friendly deal? Oh, it's definitely a team-friendly deal. Because some speculate he did get underpaid. I think he got underpaid, probably for the most part. And I think he basically got underpaid because he wanted to be here. Bottom line, I think he wanted to be here. Okay, Brave Cowboy, you be listening to it like it's the radio, huh? Yeah, I feel you. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. To God be the glory. Yeah, Bass. I think and I don't know, I guess he's underpaid by the standard, but maybe he didn't feel like he was underpaid. But he wanted to be a Cowboy. Man, look at what do they call these on this dude's neck? What are those? What are those? The delts? Look at this dude's neck, man. God, that is insane right there. It looked like he got one of them old school neck pads around his neck. I mean, he looks like that dude. He looks like that dude from the Buffalo Bills with that neck. What's that dude's name? What was his name back in the day? Miko from the Buffalo Bills. Shoot, man. I see why he be running through folks. Look at the shoulders on that dude, man.
Early on, and then you got to get the big payday this offseason. How rewarding and gratifying was that to sign that extension?
Yeah, it felt good just knowing that all my hard work finally paid off, and I got like a little bit of security. But I mean, I still got a lot more to prove. Go out there. I at least want to go to the Pro Bowl or something, and definitely get a Super Bowl with the team. But I mean, just working hard, grinding, and trying to be a better version of myself. That's all I'm worried about.
When you did,
see, he's got an opportunity. Let me look at how old he is. I didn't see how old he is. See, he's got an opportunity, you know, with the deal that he signed, if I'm not mistaken. He's got an opportunity that, you know, that once this contract is over, I don't think Javonte is that old, is he? Let me see. Yeah, he's only 26 years old. He won't hit the wall at 28. Yeah, he definitely won't hit the wall at 28. So he runs it back 2 years with the Cowboys and gets $16 million guaranteed. Well, he'll be able to go out there and get some more money somewhere else, or who knows? Maybe he has a great season with the Cowboys, and then the Cowboys turn right back around and say, okay, let's go back to the table and we're gonna work a little bit more. You still seem like you got a lot in the tank. Cowboys probably extend him again. Let me look at the contract. Let's look at the contract on him real quick. I mean, the Cowboys could easily go back and say, we're going to, the Cowboys could easily say that we're going to give you some more money or work it again. Let me see. I was trying to see if I could see the contract breakdown. Sport Track is over here tripping tonight. I don't even know what that means. See if I can check it out tomorrow, but he might be able to go back and, get another year. It looks like it's just kind of like a 2-year deal with the Cowboys, so he could go back and get some more money. So we'll see what happens with Javonte Williams, but we got him this year and next year, so I'm just glad with what we're working with right now. A very good young man, and I think he's going to do great with the Cowboys.
Signing, was there a moment of like, hey, there was a point in his career where I didn't know what was next, and now I have a security? Like, did you have that kind of thought process at all? Or?
Oh yeah, I still be thinking like that. No, I mean, I don't think it really hit me yet, like what I did or anything like that. But I mean, yeah, I'm still grinding, still the same person I was last year. Just keep my head down and keep working.
What do you see is going to take for this team to take it to the next level? Win a playoff game to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I really feel like it's just us versus us. I feel like we can compete with any team in the league. I feel like we having too many self-inflicted wounds, penalties, things like that. We just got to stay healthy and keep going.
I think Javonte Williams makes a very good point. This is the $1 million question for me, or one of the $1 million questions. What are they going to do to cut down on the penalties? The Dallas Cowboys, even before Brian Schottenheimer, they are always one of the highest penalized teams. What are they going to do to fix that? How do you stop being one of the most penalized teams in the NFL? Offensively and defensively, it is insane when you think about the number of penalties this team commits. Cowboys, I haven't been able to figure this out. I mean, we thought when Brian came, when Brian came, it was going to get better, and it seemed like it started out better, but it didn't. I mean, they get a tremendous amount of penalties. Let me see if I can pull up the Cowboys penalties. Look at this. This is the $1 million question. Hey, Miss Matrix, I think I got it pulled up. I got it pulled up. Actually, I watched it a while ago. I got it pulled up, and we go watch it before we get out of here. Brave Cowboys, you just hit it on the head, man. Discipline. What do y'all think the Cowboys ranked in penalties? What do you think they ranked? What do you think they ranked? What do you think they ranked in penalties? What do you think they ranked? How bad were the Dallas Cowboys in penalties? Just take a wild guess. Where would you think they ranked? This is the Dallas Cowboys rank? I hope y'all are laying in the bed or sitting on the couch, because you are about to be absolutely floored. Look at this. This is insanity. If there was something on the screen, you put it back up here. Look at this. This is insanity. They were the most penalized team in the NFL. How do you be the most penalized team in the NFL? How? They ranked first in the NFL in total penalties. Do what? Total penalty yards. They ranked second in the NFL. What? Average per game, 7.82 penalties. You think you're beating teams like that? You're not. You're not beating nobody like that. You're not beating anybody like that. You're not beating teams like that. Offensive holding penalties, 31. False starts, 23 penalties. When you look at those kind of penalties, you are pushing yourself backwards. Backwards, backwards, backwards. You take 2 steps forward, you take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's what you're doing with those kind of penalties. Literal insanity. Says here, the most frequent penalties by the team's penalty count was largely driven by offensive line miscues and defensive infractions. Offensive holding, 31 penalties. False start, 23 penalties. Unnecessary roughness, 10 penalties. Defensive pass interference, 8 penalties. I thought they would have had more, but I guess you wouldn't have more, especially when wide receivers are running right past you. So Miss Matrix said it's the Cowboys. It'll continue until Goodell retires or Randolph book it. Yeah, they're going to have to run him out because he's young. Gerald Jackson said we were notorious for 5-yard defensive holding on third downs. We were killing ourselves. We were killing ourselves as far as penalties go. We were hurting ourselves bad. So, Javonte Williams just made a very interesting, he just said something interesting. Man, we got to stop the penalties.
The league's really going to 13 personnel. A lot of teams like a lot of tight ends, multiple tight ends. You guys obviously have a lot of talented receivers as well. Can you tell how different the box is and how things are from your perspective when it's 11 versus 13 personnel? Do you have a preference?
Oh, yeah. I'd definitely rather be against 11 because, when you got the receivers, like you said, on the field, Jake, and really any of our offensive players, just a lighter box. It always helps the run game. So 13 personnel and stuff like that, it kind of packs the box. So anytime you can spread out, I'd rather do that.
And for 11 personnel to have that success, you need receivers like you guys have, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, sir.
What do you think of seeing Emmitt Smith out here? I saw he came up to you and gave you some words.
Yeah, no, it was cool just talking to him. That was my first time meeting him in person. I watch his highlights all the time, and just being another Cowboys running back, I know he's believing in me. He want me to do my best, so I'm gonna do it for him.
Any advice or feedback you learned from him today?
Nah, he just told me to keep running the way I'm running, and everything will be all right. I told him I got him.
Started acupuncture last year.
Man, let me tell you something, man. I just wonder if some of y'all are like me. Kind of watching the Cowboys in the 90s, I really didn't appreciate how good that team was. But when I look at old film on Emmitt Smith, absolutely incredible when you realize how great Emmitt Smith was. Emmitt Smith wasn't just good. He wasn't just great. Emmitt Smith was an alien. When you look back on how great, this dude was an absolute alien. I was watching a video the other day.
And
Lawrence Taylor was talking about great players. And one of the great players he was talking about was Emmitt Smith. And he said, I don't want to hear nothing about no offensive line. He said Emmitt Smith was an absolute beast. I wish I could find the clip on it. I was watching it the other day, and it was just listening to him talk, man. It was incredible. And people don't understand how great Lawrence Taylor was. You know, that's why when I hear people comparing, you know, people to Lawrence Taylor, I'm like, stop it, man. I'm like, stop it. You guys do not understand what you're saying. Lawrence Taylor is a player, as he talked about, that transcends stats. The man transcended stats. You didn't talk about stats with Lawrence Taylor. It was the film that you talked about with Lawrence Taylor. I'm gonna see. Let me see if I can find the clip I had watched the other day. I might have not saved it. But this dude, Lawrence Taylor, man, he was different. And I like what he was saying about one Emmitt Smith. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'll have to show it another day. But Lawrence Taylor, man, he was talking, man. He was talking about Emmitt Smith, and he was absolutely right. Emmitt Smith was an alien, man. Lawrence Taylor was an alien. Emmitt Smith was an alien. I am telling you, Lawrence Taylor was talking about Emmitt, and I think it was Lawrence Taylor talking about the best running back. I wish I could find it when he was talking about it. I'll run across it again. I'll save it for us. But Lawrence Taylor, man, he hit it right on the head about Emmitt Smith. He was like, man, y'all just don't understand how great Emmitt Smith was. And just looking at the film on Emmitt Smith, it was just like, golly. And so, you know, when Emmitt Smith is talking to you as a running back, man, shoot, you listen. You listen. Emmitt was that great. He was just an alien. Let me see. Miss Matrix said it off. Hold on, let me read Richard Owens first. Let me just go down the list here. Richard Owens said, I believe things will be better this year because they have players that want to be great as a team and not individually. Richard Owens, I've been saying this for years. That's been their biggest problem. Miss Matrix said, totally off topic, but y'all the ones I can talk to. Anyone's kids play 7 versus 7-on-7 touch. No, mine's are grown now. No, not me. Gerald Jackson said at 56, I totally see how great Emmitt was. He was outstanding, carrying the rock in one hand. He was incredible, man. He was incredible. Yeah. Hey, Mark Davis, he was a dog. Man, people do not, man, they don't make him like Emmitt Smith no more, man. They don't make him like that no more. All right, let's finish. Let's listen to some more of Javonte Williams. I'm just impressed again. I'm just impressed that Emmitt Smith took the time to come out there and talk to him.
Is there a new medical thing that you're doing, new treatment, where you're like, hey, this is going to be new this year, or is it just doing the same stuff?
Yeah, the same stuff. I feel like if I ain't broke, I feel sick.
What's it like to have George back today?
Oh, yeah, real good. I'm just seeing him. I know he might not have been at the facility, but he said he's been working hard. So, I mean, we're going to get everything together in the way it's supposed to be. We'll be all right.
Johnny was saying that he's kind of infectious in how he works and what he does in the air, that he might not even know that. What's his impact on the locker room when he's around?
Yeah, I mean, you could hear that practice when he got a chance to break it down. Everybody was cheering. I mean, we all glad to see him back. We know how hard he worked. He might not get the rap in the public that we know in the locker room. People might think different of him, but we know he's a great person, and we love having him back.
So he broke down practice today?
Yeah.
The World Cup right now is using grass fields and blinders at AT&T Stadium. Is that something that you want to become permanent?
I'm telling y'all, man, this is something else that I find to be fascinating about George Pickens. He's obviously made an impression on his team, and his team has made an impression on him. Because somebody's going to have to help me with this. I've heard none of these Pittsburgh players talk about George Pickens. I think I might have heard Russell Wilson. I think I might have heard Russell Wilson say some things about GP. But for the most part, you don't hear anybody talking about GP out of Pittsburgh. But I can tell you the way Dallas talks about him. Shoo, man, Dallas is making George Pickens feel extremely wanted. Now we're just hoping that they finish it up. And, you know, just like Javonte said, we're going to get it together. We just got to get it together. I think he's talking about that business part. And I think they will get it together.
For this upcoming season?
I hear a lot of receivers saying that they have like a glare in their eyes in the stadium, so that might help us out. But I mean, I'm gonna just go out there and play on. I'm ready.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Great dude. Man, we got some great dudes on this team, man. We really do. Yeah, Baz, you know, not only have they not had anything negative to say, they don't have anything. They just have glowing things to say about George Pickens. And I think Brian Schottenheimer is saying something very powerful about him, that he doesn't even realize how infectious he is to the people around him. And I think that's a great compliment to George Pickens. I think it's a great compliment. And so, I still say George Pickens is going to win in the end. I really do. Miss Major said, why does he remind me of Diggs? Trayvon Diggs. Javonte? I don't know. Trayvon Diggs kind of look like a model. Trayvon Diggs might ought to leave football and just go into modeling. I mean, he might ought to go and leave football. Yeah, Javonte don't strike me with the model looks. I mean, he actually looked like a football player. I mean, especially, what do they call them things up here? Delts or whatever? I need to start working out so I can get some of those. But, man, it'd probably take about 9 years to get some delts like that, man. It'd probably take about 9-10 years to get something like that, boy. That's some serious weightlifting. What up, Ronan the Voice? Yeah, mentally is everything on a team. Yeah, mentality is everything. Yes, sir, I agree with you. Yes, sir. And again, Ronan the Voice, that is the thing that Jerry didn't understand about what Jimmy did. Jimmy created a team. Jimmy created a mentality and a culture. He created a mentality and a culture. And that's what Jerry has been missing all this time. But Shotty's to the rescue. Miss Majors said, gee, you saying Diggs was too pretty to play ball? Hey, Miss Majors, I'm just telling you. I'm just calling it like I see it with old Diggs, man. I really think Diggs just ought to say, man, I'm going into modeling, man. I'm going into modeling because them knees, man, that knee procedure that he had, I don't know what he'll ever be after that. I don't know what he'll ever be. But I can tell you what he can be. I can tell you what he can be. Shoot, Trayvon Diggs could be a model. I mean, I ain't even trying to be funny, but Trayvon Diggs could absolutely be a model. Have you seen some of the fashion that he wears? Now, some of the stuff that his brother wears, that stuff his brother wears just toe up. But Trayvon Diggs, man, sometimes, man, Diggs got some fashion sense. And when he dress up, he look like a model. Let me see. I was going to pull up one picture of him before we watch this video. But, yeah, old Diggs look like a model. But football, nah, Diggs might all just go and hang up them cleats, man. Talking about he won't, I can't remember. He said something like he wanted to play until he wanted to play another 13 years or something like that. I'm like, nah, Diggs. Nah, Diggs, it ain't gonna happen, bruh. When you start having them kind of knee injuries, unless something else change, nah, bro, you ain't gonna be running no 13 more years with them knees. You're gonna have to make some serious changes. You gotta make some serious changes with them knees, man. But again, I mean, I think he could do some modeling. I'm just saying. I think he could do some modeling. Yeah, I think he could do some modeling for sure. he dressed better than Cam Newton. Cam Newton fashion is terrible, man. That stuff Cam Newton be wearing is terrible, bruh. Yeah, Braves Cowboy, he said Dick's the prettiest man I ever saw. Man, I'm going to tell you, shoot, yeah, he could be a model. He could definitely be a model, man. Yeah, he could be a model. Yeah, this is him in one of them little, he got a little Neiman Marcus outfit on right here. Yeah, he could be a model, man. But with them knees, he going to be struggling playing football, man. He gonna be struggling playing football. Now, I think if he can get healthy, Diggs can still play. And if I'm not mistaken, I heard he was talking to the Washington Commanders. I mean, we'll see what he look like. I don't know, man. When you start having that stuff he did to his knees done, boy, that's telling you them knees is, man, I don't know what you do with knees like that. But I know one thing, it's probably not playing football. Bass said knee check engine light done came on millennia ago. That instrumental penalties, Pep boys. Shoo, man. Miss Matrix, I'm with you. I can't with Cam. I can't either. I cannot with Cam. All right, let me see if I got this video pulled up that Miss Matrix was telling me about. Yeah, I'm laughing at this video. Let me see if I can get the dang it, I had it. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull this video up that Miss Matrix sent me. Miss Matrix, send me that link again. Send me the link again so I don't have to go so far up. And let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Maybe it's in my history. Let me see. I want to watch this video. I want y'all to watch this video that Miss Matrix put in the chat earlier. Want you to see this video. This boy here, man. This man here be clowning, boy. What's his name? Rashid Rice or whatever it is. All right, put that link back in the chat for me one more time. Let me see if I can, I want to pull it up again. I had it up and then I clicked off of it. Hold on. Okay, wait a minute. I think I got it. Hold on. Okay, so it looked like he getting out of jail, right? Like he getting out of jail. He getting out of jail. He said, y'all ain't finna catch me. Shoot, he said, catch me if you can. Let me see here. Yeah, he said, catch me if you can. And you are not going to catch me. Hold on, let me put that link down here in my notes. He said, y'all not finna catch me. Let's see what this is.
Door. Hey, Rashid, you got anything to say to your fans, bro?
Wait a minute, this is him. This is Rashid getting out of checks off after jail release. This is Rashid. Check him out.
Hey, Rashid, you got anything to say to your fans, bro?
That boy put them jets on, boy. He could probably run faster if his pants wasn't falling down. Put a belt on, man. That boy is gone. That boy is gone. Who is this? Who is this media dude that read him down? Who is this media dude? Who is this dude, man? Oh my gosh, who does something like that, man? Man, these media people crazy, man. Let's run that back one time. Let's run that back.
Door. Hey, Rashid, you got anything to say to your fans, bro?
Dude said door. He go. You hear that dude breathing? Boy, this dude want this. Man, come on, man. What the dude gonna tell you? He running away from you. work, boy. Boy, this is crazy work, man. What the dude gonna tell you, man? This is absolute crazy work. What is he gonna tell you? I mean, if he running from you, even if you catch him, what is he gonna tell you, man? Boy, this is crazy work, bro. Must have forgot this man play football. He must have forgot this man plays professional football. He tried to run. Let's run it back one more time. He said door.
Door. Hey, Rasheed, you got anything to say to your fans, bro?
Yeah. He said, catch these feet. Rasheed Rice said, catch these feet, bro. Look like he wearing them Jordan 11 Gammas, too. He wearing them Jordan 11 Gammas. That bro said, I ain't got nothing to say, man. Who is this dude chasing him, bro? This is crazy work. This is crazy work. Oh, man. Miss Matrix said, let me see what Miss Matrix said. She's media dude could never work with you or not the father. They wouldn't have let him get that far away. Oh, boy. Like, go fall back, but respect, he wasn't having it, man. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have chased him. I guarantee you, Braves Cowboys said that's commitment. Boy, he said that's commitment. He said that's commitment right there, boy. He said that's commitment. He said, how long he been in loose staring jail? I don't know, man. Boy, this is crazy, boy. Boy, these dudes be crazy in this new media crazy, man. That's all I can tell y'all. This new media is crazy. Boy, how you gonna chase somebody down, man? Better be glad he was chasing him out of jail. That's kind of stuff get you beat up right there. That's kind of stuff get you beat up. Shoot, you get beat up doing stuff like that. No, he's wearing them gavels. He's wearing them Jordan 11 gavels. Yeah, them Jordan 11s look like church shoes. Shoot, Broaddus said he running from a bill collector or an ex-wife. Yes, sir. Shoot, man, set up the speed out of the red. He faster than you, dog. We leave that be. Shoot, he better than me. I bet you I wouldn't have chased him. Man, you mess around chase somebody like that, get beat up. That's dangerous. Shoot, you better be glad he was about to jail. I ain't chase nobody like that, man. That's crazy work, bruh. That is crazy work. Man, I'm telling you, Cowboy fans, I'm excited about the Dallas Cowboys. I really think the Dallas Cowboys, I really think the Dallas Cowboys are going to be great, man. I really do. I think the Cowboys are going to be absolutely great. I think that they're going to get this team together. I think they're going to get this stuff together with Pickens. I'm still holding out for a contract for George Pickens. I really am. I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope for George Pickens. I absolutely am. Holding out hope that George Pickens gets that extension. I'm praying he gets that extension. I believe he deserves it. If you ask me, I think he deserves it. But, you know, I don't write those checks. But I believe I've seen enough of George Pickens. And we'll see what the Cowboys do going forward. But we got 29 more days to go. 29 more days. And I guess it's about 28 days. We got about 28 days to go. And it'll be July the 15th. So we'll see how it goes. But, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me on Cowboys After Dark. We will be back tomorrow. Y'all know tomorrow's Bible study. But we going to find a way. Even if we have to come in early. But we're going to be back tomorrow with more news from the Dallas Cowboys. News that you can use. We'll be back tomorrow. Until the next time, DC4L. God bless. Let's talk Cowboys. Where we talk facts. Y'all have a good night. Peace.